we at? Late. Busy. Let's see who actually up. Let me see. Let's go to this minute. $2.54. Should be some people up. Even if people, Jacob, what's the deal? Even if people checked out, I want to make sure I get this information out real quick. Beast Coast still up. Jacob, Trey, what's the deal? Well, it got to be like 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Yeah, we on early in the morning. Late. See who actually stay up. What's good, people? This was a long day, man. People forget, man. Like, it's tough to schedule when you like super busy, man. It's tough. I've been trying to schedule, and like I said, shit happens. You be thinking you can really get on at a certain time, but shit happens. It's not like I can pop on and be like, oh, I'll be right back. And I would have changed the time real quick. I just couldn't get to it. It happens. Or melatonin be working, boy. People who can't sleep. What's the deal? All right, so it's probably it was about 5 people that helped me test the app. App is in testing phase right now, so I posted a little video of the app on my Instagram, so you guys can see the app is up and running. Just testing it out right now. It's a couple little bugs got to fix real quick, but she'll hopefully be releasing today or tomorrow. So just taking care of the app and getting it out the way, so it'll release on Android and iPhone. Excuse me. Mimi, what's the deal? Terrence, what's the deal? The Netherlands, what's that? What's the deal? Greetings. Corze, dues or dues? Pay your dues. Dues is the monthly thing, so you pay your dues. But as I said in the video, that's what the video was for. I said watch the video. A lot of people got questions. All you gotta do is watch the video. Remember, I said in the video, dues are not mandatory. Dues is up to you guys. If you understand how important dues is, then you pay them. If you can't pay them, then don't pay them. It's just that simple. Let's see. Tennessee in the building. Tennessee, that's one place I haven't been there. I haven't been to Tennessee. Jam. Hello from London. What's the deal? It's a new one. Corey said everybody get a digital copy and everybody get a physical copy. Yeah, you gotta provide details. Don't worry, you guys can get an email beforehand when that's ready to ship out. You'll get an email if I don't have your information. D Griff, me too, bro. I passed out. I was like super busy. This was a long day. I had family flying out. A lot of running around today, man. It's super, super big. I had to take my dog. Well, I was supposed to take my dog to get a haircut and all that, but the day turned busy, man. So now then she need a cut. She over here with him. Oh, gee, this is fucking hilarious. Man. You know how many extended car warranty calls I get? That's fucking hilarious. But yeah, so for the people who hit me up about the app, you guys saw the video. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw the video for the app. We just testing it right now. Like I said, it should release today or tomorrow. We just finished testing. Got to get rid of a couple little bugs, but the app is basically done, so everybody get the app. Yo, that was funny. I get those extended car warranty calls a lot. That should be funny, and like you swear it's an important call, because like my number has is locked up, so it's not like no real telemarketers can get through. And so if a number pop up, it's probably somebody that's important. So whenever I see a number, I usually answer the phone. So I'd be shocked that they even got through to call me about such bullshit. So it'd be funny though. I like to fuck with them though. Like when they used to call and shit, the telemarketers back in the day when I had some time, I used to fuck with them. I used to get them all the way to the payment and then hang up the phone. I'd be like, oh yeah, how many? How much? Oh wow, that's a good deal. They get to the fucking credit card and I'm like 4-8. Let me see. I appreciate you guys for sticking around, man. I was supposed to be on here at like 10 o'clock. Just wasn't in the car. So this happens a lot. I see somebody, this happens regularly, like 4 times. But sometimes, usually if I miss that time, I'll stretch the time out. But I was done. Dave, what's the deal? Peace. Yeah, so everybody should have emails by now, man. Like, you guys got to make sure as well that the email that you paid with for Merkabah Scholar Society is the email that you're looking at. A lot of people don't realize the email is different from what they paid because they're not getting emails. And what happens is the email that they're emailing me from is not the same. So you gotta make sure your email is the same. Excuse me. There's a lot of people still waiting for NDAs, and the NDA went to a separate email. So you gotta make sure your PayPal or the email that's attached to your payment method is the same email that you're actually using, because some people don't realize it's a different email. So some people they hit me about NDAs, and when I went back, because I got a whole list, I went back to check my list, and I see that I already sent out the email. So that's usually what the case is. So make sure you guys just checking your emails. Excuse me. 3 o'clock in the morning over here. Let me see. It's gonna be a busy day today too. A lot to do. Oh yeah. So also for video get ready to come out on the Gnostic DVD. Should be releasing this weekend. Anubis, what's the deal? I'm glad you can make it, good brother. So yeah, the Gnostic DVD is gonna be releasing this weekend. So you guys stay tuned for that. The video is gonna be real, really good. Connect a lot of dots. So have that, and then we're gonna have the Biblical Bible series still released, And if I didn't change, so we still, well, we're in phase 3 right now for final phase for Merkabah Scholar Society for the people who was asking about that. So this is it right here. It's a lot coming. It's going to be a big week. It's a lot coming up this week. So it's a lot that's going to go out this week. So people still trying to get in. It's your final shot. No, the price is still the same right now. It's going to increase though. I ain't have time to increase it. Let me see. Make sure I can get rid of some of these boo boos. People up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, it's 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock in the morning, being trolls and shit. I'm not Muslim. Fuck no, not no damn Muslim. Yeah, Decrypt definitely good for their affiliate program. Amazon. I was setting it up for a couple people this week. You see how that goes. Make sure you set up a separate Facebook page. So open up a Facebook business page and just take those links and Amazon affiliate. All you got to do is paste them on your Facebook page, and boom, that's it. The line is there. And then boost post. So remember, when you go to boost post on that Facebook, I'm gonna do a whole video on this. I talked about it on personal economics, but it's a little bit different now because of AI. So we have a video in our Merkabah Scholar Society. I'm gonna walk you guys through this whole thing at one of these lectures that I'm gonna do for anybody that's trying to do affiliate or grow them money with grow some money with Merkabah Scholar Society. And this, I'm gonna do a whole affiliate program, but because it's other affiliates you can use, it's basically like Amazon's other companies that you can do the same thing with and sell. It's almost the same thing with a lot of people don't know what Shopify, and you can pay because you can get access to Shein suppliers, even fucking the same type of suppliers that Amazon is using. The same buyers. A lot of these stores are now opening up their books, so you can get wholesale from them and buy. I mean, the prices is different if you use like Shopify, but it's other companies you can buy their stuff. I mean, you can buy the same type of clothes that Macy's is buying and stuff like that. But it's a lot you can do now. Yeah, you don't have to do a blog. Just make a just what you do is sign out of Facebook. Sign out of Facebook, and then look at the bottom. Go to Facebook and make sure you sign out. At the bottom of that page, you'll see a link that says make a celebrity page or make like a business page. Just click on make a business page. Then it's going to ask you to sign back in. So then you sign back in because it's going to connect to that sign in, and then you just take it from there. You set the page up, put all the information in and everything like that. Once that's done, then all you do is you go to your Amazon. Whenever you go to a product, you'll see how the top on the top of your Amazon is different. So you go over there and you click to get the link. You just get the link and then you copy and paste it onto your Facebook business page, and you'll see it'll give everybody the photo and everything of the product, what have you. And you'll have the option to boost post. When you boost post, just make sure the page is done. Finish the page. Put all the products and everything you want to put up on there, and then you boost post. And then boost post, you can see when you go into it, you can really put demographics in the people you're trying to target. You could put in what people searched. Like, so let's say you're selling cameras, you could put in, hey, I want to target people that searched cameras. You can put all that in there, and it'll be right on those people's timeline. And it depends on how much you spend on boost and post. It'll tell you how many people that you'll reach or what have you, and then you go from there. But what it'll do is it'll start bringing traffic to your page, and then that's how you get the ball rolling. Play the numbers game. Quantorium Vibes, what's the deal? Scottsdale, Arizona. I've been out there, Scottsdale. A lot of rich people. Yeah, so we're gonna get into that whole thing. It's not hard at all. It's just about really picking your products and making sure you got the right products. I was rocked. No, the best way to do it, because if you do Facebook, then you got Instagram, because it'll advertise on Instagram for you, and then you can also set up an Instagram as well after you do the Facebook, but it'll advertise on Instagram. But if you do an Instagram as well, at least they'll have somewhere to go for the people who click on it. They won't have to go out of Facebook if they're on Instagram. So I would recommend doing the Instagram as well, business one. Did Moses exist? No. No Moses. Working on my YouTube page. Yeah, hook that thing up. YouTube is money if you get it monetized. It's that Miley and Joe. Good morning from Tennessee. Is somebody else in here from Tennessee? What language do deaf people think in? Oh, that's hilarious. Whatever language that they speak. You don't have to, some deaf people can actually still speak. Just because they can't hear don't mean they can't speak. It's not always the case. So you still learn a language. Yeah, I remember when I first set up for my affiliate program, I was getting money immediately. Like you'll see people start, and this was years ago, so it was a little bit more, a lot more people was more let's see, trusting about it. The thing is, one, when you're doing affiliate with Amazon, it'll go straight to the people's account, so they know when they click on your link, it opens up to Amazon, and if they're logged into Amazon, they can see it's legit. So a lot of people trust it. Let me see. Yeah, it's about just picking the right products, man. Pick the right products. Kind of have an idea of what you're trying to do when you go in. Like I said, when I first did mine, I was like selling electronics, and I did a separate page for like baby stuff, because I realized it's a lot of, because moms, you got to think about, a lot of moms is just in the house, they scrolling. They on social media scrolling right now, thinking about all the shit they're gonna buy their baby, especially first time moms. So I mean, it's real easy to target them with the algorithm and the boost posts on Facebook. So they can really just target people that search pregnancy or prenatal care or baby clothes and all that, and they'll get a constant dose of baby stuff on their timeline. And if you advertise, and then boom, you appeal straight to them. People would type baby registry, and that's basically was like one of the themes. I did just baby registry stuff, and then a lot of people was adding it to their registry cart. You know how that goes. It's a bunch of people can buy it from their cart, and that'll be your link in their cart. So that's a good way to target, because you usually people that's buying this pregnancy stuff is they're not really skeptical. Like they're not really on the fence. They buying that stuff. It's not something they're trying to put off for too long. So they usually buy immediately, and that's how it was for me. Like I sold so much. Like when I did the affiliate program in the beginning, like everything was selling fast. So once I switched out of that and started selling my own wholesale stuff, I already had like a steady group of people that was buying. So it was real easy. Let's see. Yeah, so with Amazon, they pay out monthly. But like I said, the first check I got from the affiliate program was like $700. And I was shocked. I was like, damn, from selling other people's shit. So it's just like I said, we grind it out, it'll grow. I never got a check less than 700 after that. Everything was in the thousands. So an extra grand a month is not bad. Just put the little work in. Yeah, online stores, like if you open up an online store, it got to be something that's like like special, or else you compete with Amazon, and then compete with Amazon, you're gonna lose. It's not worth it. I did that in the beginning, which is why I switched to working doing the affiliate program with Amazon, and then selling my stuff on Amazon. If you do an online store, just you might as well sell on Amazon and cut all the bullshit out, and just sell on Amazon because nobody's gonna buy. It's just how it goes. Excuse me. Unless you have something that's niche, like you got the guy that's selling shirts and hats to match with Jordan sneakers. Fucking genius idea. He designed shirts to go with the Jordans, and to me that was just genius. A lot of people be looking for clothes to match Jordans, and we know how much Jordan sells. So this dude designed clothes and hats, shirts and pants to match with like you know, the retros and Yeezys and stuff like that, and they sell. That's like, you're not gonna find that on Amazon too much. That's something that somebody's designing. So having an online store like that makes sense. But if you're selling the same shit on your online store as Amazon, it's just not smart because then you got to compete with Amazon, and it's just not. It ain't no beating them because people trust Amazon, and they can get this shit in like a day or two. So if you do it, I recommend just setting up, selling on Amazon. You could still do an online page, but you can also sell on Amazon, and selling there and then having your link there will attract people that's buying on Amazon to your page to at least take a look. But if you're selling it on Amazon as well, they'll buy it. I mean, at least you'll get the sale. But it's okay to do this page, but I would sell all that stuff on Amazon, and then drive traffic to your page. Because once they buy from Amazon and they know it's coming from your page, then they trust it, and then you'll start getting traffic to your actual website. Hopefully. But most people just trust Amazon. Yeah, I'm always buying stuff on Amazon. Yeah, that's just the go-to. It's a bunch of shit in my cart right now. It's just like you just be buying because it's gonna pop up. The next thing you know, you come in the door, you got shit at the door. So Amazon is just trusted. I mean, the street team is crazy. You get your packages fast. Sometimes you get the shit the same day. So people trust it. And it was smart of Bezos to do it that way with the affiliate program. He could have just, said, fuck y'all. But having an affiliate program and a fulfillment program, and that's, by the way, what you'd be using. Like if you want to sell on Amazon, you will use the Amazon fulfillment. So Amazon affiliate is different. So the Amazon fulfillment would be your shit. So if you buy wholesale, when you get it shipped, you'll have it shipped to Amazon, a fulfillment center. And when you sell your stuff on Amazon, that's where it'll go, and they'll ship it and do everything like that. They'll take a percentage, of course. Yeah, that's a good number. Put that work in, man. And I got my shit, doing crazy numbers now. So Yeah, stuff like that. Like I know a lot of people that make like shea butter and moisturizers and even hair care products, and they sell them because that'll be like your brand, your product. People can only get it from you. So you can make money on that. But I still highly recommend selling on Amazon whatever you sell. It's just you gotta realize how many people are on there. A lot of people look at Amazon sales. You gotta look at Amazon traffic. It's public record. You gotta look at how many people on it. So at any given time, you have millions, billions, about 2 billion people that scroll on Amazon or have Amazon open for links or for advertising. You're going to see it. So it's just a numbers game. I mean, especially for something that's a common product that people going to buy. It's good to sell it. And like I said, when you start working with affiliate and when you start doing fulfillment too, you get that list of things of what to buy, what to sell. Excuse me. So Amazon actually tell you, what's the top selling products, which is usually always cameras. Cameras sell like the most electronics. It's always selling electronic. Sell the most. Like I said, joysticks is still to this day. I've been doing affiliate programs since the beginning. Joysticks is still my number one seller. I sell more joysticks than anything. PlayStation, Xbox controllers, I sell more than anything. Because you got to think about it. People who get in those consoles are usually buying them. You see. Yeah, I was just talking about this. If you didn't, make sure the email you paid with is the same email you're using, because I check my list. Everybody got NDAs, and then also remember, it's taking days. I can see when each of you guys open the email. So I'm seeing now that people are just now opening the email from the first meeting. So you guys got to make sure, like, you're checking your emails, or a lot of times the emails coming out late. They go into you guys late because I have a list, so I know I sent it to everybody. Checked and double checked. The emails went out, but just in case, send me an email. If you didn't get an NDA, send me an email saying you didn't get the NDA. I'll make sure you get it. Let's see what this is. All right. Yeah, if you didn't, I would say just a thought, people. Make sure you send me an email. Check and make sure. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure everybody got it. Yeah, just check your email. Make sure that, because what's happening is people email that they pay with is different, and a lot of people don't realize that's the email tied to their payment method. It's a different email, so I would recommend you make sure you check what email was on the payment. What this? Rich Roots. What's the deal? East Coast in the house. Go back to Cordova, Tennessee. All right. Let's see what I'm doing. Yeah, definitely set that up. D Griff, it's easy money. Man, you selling other people's shit. So you can really pick what products you want to sell. Just like, have a cohesive uh, page set up with Facebook, so you're selling the same type shit. Yeah, because like I said, when I did it on Facebook, but I set up an entire Amazon site. So I built a whole website separate. That's what a lot of people was doing in the beginning, but now since social media has included it, so you can sell, you can use the links on the page. It's just easier. But I set up a whole Amazon store online, and just was advertising it and was selling that way. And people could see when they click on the link, it goes straight to the Amazon. So it was selling well. Good news and divine warning. What's the deal? Peace. Watch anime. Morgan, I wish I had time to watch anime. I watch a lot of the older stuff. But man, I don't have no time to watch anything these days. Super busy. Yeah, D Griff, all you gotta, once you post the link, you copy the link that Amazon gives you, and you paste it. As soon as you paste it, everything is right there for the person. You don't have to put nothing else. Everything is going to be there. It'll give the people the picture, the price, and everything. And it's a link, so when they click on it, it's going to take them straight to Amazon. So once they buy, boom, you get that percentage. So it's not really anything else you got to text at all. Just the link gives them everything they need to know, and that's all you got to do. It makes it a lot easier. Yeah, Anubis. So when you try to set up a business page, it's going to ask you to sign into your normal Facebook page. It's just so they can have a page that's associated with the business, a regular page. So yeah, I recommend making sure you set up a normal Facebook first, and then, like I said, log out and then sign up for a business page, and then it'll ask you to sign into your Facebook page. That way, they have a page to attach the business page to. So people won't see your personal page; they'll only see the business page when they're going on there. They won't know that is you at all. They'll only know the business page. So you can, set up a business name for the page, whatever name you want to name it. It's a good thing. I recommend just put an Amazon affiliate store, something like that, so people can know it's Amazon. But they're going to know once they see the link. So whatever you want to call it is cool. Just try to keep anything personal out of it, no pictures, anything like that. I'm good to go. Yeah, so with Instagram, it'll be the same thing. You just set up an Instagram business, or you can turn the page you have now into a business. What a lot of people was doing, change the page they have because they're not really using it that much into a business page, and then all the people that's following you have them following the page already, and they're just going to get a steady dose of whatever you sell. Yeah, it's cool to set it up as quickly as possible, because a lot of times what people do, because everybody's like so super cautious these days, what they'll do is they'll go and look and see how long the page has been running, because it's a lot of scams around the holiday times. So I recommend set up as quickly as possible, definitely before the holidays, because around the holiday time people's going to want to know how long the page has been up. But some people look at it, even if it's Amazon. People will look, but at least they know, it's the real deal Amazon. When they click on the link, it's going straight to their Amazon, and they trust it. Spirit message tarot. I'm curious if you know what the Merkabah is. Wow, you must be new to this channel. Look at the channel. I obviously know what a Merkabah is. Yeah, exactly. Just make it all like a business page, like it's because remember also when you set it up on Facebook, if you're selling anything personally, you can always add that to the page. If you're buying anything wholesale. Because look, so you guys probably seen a couple of videos. You guys can really look like it's like little small things. Let me think. What was the So a lot of things, because I'm selling these now. A lot of things that sell quick. It's a lot of little fucking quirky novelty shit sells. And you can see what they sell for on Amazon. So a lot of little shit like lighters, little funny lighters, little funny little gadgets. You'll see what they sell for on Amazon. But excuse me, you can go on DHgate and get them for a fraction of the price and just buy like fucking a few hundred of them and just ship them yourself and just sell them on Amazon for, probably like 5 cents less than what the other person is selling it for. And you'll sell. I showed you guys this on personal economics, but I'm gonna show you guys again when we do the video. Shit, if you got an Audi, you doing good too. Audi's all that, but a Porsche's better. Yeah, man, you should be pulling in crazy numbers off of online sales, man. It's really all about the push, the time you get into it. So for me, I mean, I got it set to a science now. Everything is automatic, and you can do that with the boost post where you have your ads constantly running out, and it's quick, easy ways of making money. It's too many programs out there now. It's too many things to sell, man. It's just that you got to get real creative. You know, a lot of stupid novelty stuff sells fast. You can actually Google stupid novelty toys, and even those people selling them, it's just get in the game. You know, it's a numbers game. You gotta remember, you got billions of people that's online looking for shit to buy, and a lot of times people up late and they just scrolling. You can sell a lot of little stupid shit online. Yeah, the boost post is just it's the best thing in the world, man. Especially now, since Facebook got into the algorithm. So before Facebook was really using the algorithm as heavy as they're using it now, you put in the city because you can target just your city. So that's the cool thing. So let's say you're selling something locally, or you're selling something that's you want to be able to ship easily. You could just target your own city. That's it, and you can sell stuff there. Like a lot of people use it if they're selling food. So if you're selling food, you can use the algorithm and just target people that's in your local area, so they know where you're at selling food. Put the link up there and everything, and it'll just target those people in your city that's close to you. So like I said, you can target people. Like I said, if you're selling baby stuff, you can target people that searched pregnancy or baby clothes or baby anything. And just like when you on Facebook and you scrolling, you see all the stuff popping in the timeline, stuff that you was just talking about, and now you see it on the timeline. That's how that works. That's why it works that way. Because somebody put something up there, and you was talking about it, or you searched it, and then now it's targeting you. Remember, they use Google, so if you Google search stuff, it'll still pop up on your timeline. So it's the best way to do it because if you're selling something niche like baby clothes, then the people who search baby stuff, it'll pop up on their timeline. Yeah, I'm telling you, like it's after a while, because with the affiliate program, I mean, you got to do numbers because you're getting up to 10%, of what you're selling. So you want to sell stuff that's money. I was selling electronics. Electronics are expensive, especially cameras. I sold a shitload of cameras in the beginning. Baby stuff. I mean, you want to do thousands, numbers in the thousands to generate good money, but you will because it's just a lot of people get pregnant out there. But it just depends on your advertising, and like I said, that's the cool thing because Facebook will show you how many people you'll reach. And if it's something cool, that's a good thing about having a novelty product or a niche product. Because if it's something cool or funny, people are going to share it. You understand? Like they had all kinds of like I'm gonna tell you another big seller is that middle finger. The middle finger lighter sells. So a lot of people was just sharing that because the middle finger lighter is just something funny. People were sharing a lot. They get a lot of shares, and it sells a lot. It's a good little thing to sell. Papa Lance, what's the deal? Eric, what's the deal? What's going on, guys? Excuse me. Phone rings. Let me see. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like that's another thing. You got to be real. You got to be ready, because some of that stuff you sell, I mean, you'll be shocked, especially if it's stuff that you kind of ship on your own. Yeah, it's you gotta be ready for that because if you sell a whole lot, man, like you could get overwhelmed quickly. Where next thing you know, you got to ship a few hundred or even 1,000 products, and that's crazy. That's gonna take some time. Yeah, I'm telling you, like little teeny novelty toys and products and shit sells quickly. That stuff sells quickly. It sells a lot. Um, erotic stuff, like little erotic toys. You know, something that's erotic, but you can still post online. It's not too crazy. People share that shit. You understand? Like the rose. Yeah, the person who was selling the rose, which I sold tons of roses, sells because people will just share it because it's funny. They'll send it to their girlfriends or friends like, "Yo, this joint crazy. Use it." It's just one of those things that sells, man. Yeah, D Griff, the rose sells. It's just sells. Uh, uh, Sex toys is a seller, especially Amazon sells them. But it's cool to sell them. Like I said, I sell a lot now because people funny. People will see it and they'll just share it just to share it, and people buy the shit. You know, it's one of those things that's going to sell. And then sometimes there's a lot of things that people don't realize they need. You know, just think about stuff that you run out of or stuff that you can use an extra one of. This is why, like I said, the video game controllers sell a lot because people usually end up needing another one for whatever reason. So I sell a lot of those joysticks only because I mean I sell them personally because through my fulfillment because I get a good wholesale deal on them. Like I can get PlayStation and Xbox controllers for $6 wholesale, and you guys know what they sell in the store. I buy them for only $6, so I make a good profit off of those. New, what's the deal? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'm telling you. Look, just look. Like I said, when I'm gonna do the video, we're gonna do the whole lecture on Merkabah Scholar Society, and I'll show you guys. I'll give you guys some good ideas of products to sell. It's one of those things where the market is not too flooded, so I mean, you can still have like hundreds of people selling the same thing, but because it's the other product, it's a certain product that a lot of people want. You know, you're still going to make money off of it, and of course, having multiple products like that is good because then you have variety and you have more people to target that you're going to start throwing numbers off of that. Yeah, $6. It took me a minute to get it there, but you know, once you start getting in good with a lot of these wholesalers, then you can almost name your price at some point. But if you're buying in bulk a whole lot, I mean, realistically, a lot of wholesalers that give you numbers like that, depending on how much you buy, you know. So now, like before, my goal was to make sure I had like a couple hundred of certain products. But now I'm into the thousands now, so now I'm getting like more pallets and skids of shit. And that's how you do it. So if you're doing with the Amazon fulfillment, then you want to be buying in thousands, you know, at least 300 and up, because they don't really. I mean, the Amazon Smart, they'll take whatever you're sending them, but it's better if you got numbers because you don't know how well a product is going to do, and the next thing you know, you sold out, and then you get the email or phone call from Amazon, and then they'll let you know. Amazon is so big now where they'll just send you an email saying, hey, do you want us to refresh this product? And then they'll give you their wholesale numbers. Well, we can get it for you at this number. And sometimes it's cheaper than what you're getting it. And you can say, oh, well, yeah, go ahead, buy this amount. You know, and they'll charge you. Or you can be like, no, I'll ship. So, you know, you'll get into all that eventually. Oh, yeah, it's possible. So, like I said, it's a numbers game. That's what you're playing, a numbers game. And The product right now. I mean, you got to get into the trend sometimes when you're selling and advertising. So right now, people are making memes and videos off of the Diddy situation. You know, somebody already just came out with the Diddy baby oil. Can you imagine how many they sold already? You know, it's just one of the, oh shit, let me buy that. You know, the Diddy baby oil or whatever, or what have you. So a lot of times, just little shit like that, you can find something to sell and generate a lot of money real quick, just taking advantage of the situation. So Noble Drew Ali was a plant. If you don't know that by now, so I talked about Noble Drew Ali before. Whether he knew he was a plant or not, that remains to be seen. But you know, you talk about Shriners, talk about masonry. This dude knew what he was doing. Yeah, prank stuff. So it's a lot of that stuff out there. Little prank novelty stuff that you can grab wholesale and sell, and you know, people share it because it's something funny, and people buy it. You know, gag gifts is always money, man. Excuse me. Yeah, Noble Drew Ali is heroes to a lot of people, man. So a lot of people when they studying Islam or especially the NOI or getting into the Moorish science, a lot of people go to Noble Drew Ali and the history and everything they had going on. This was a dude, you know, he's a plant. Is to get people into that. You guys got to remember. I talked about this before. Like you had during that time, the 20s and up, black people was into business heavy, and we was making big moves. I told you we was challenging them for space, and one of the things they had to do, of course, was get into the heads or get into the pockets of the black folks that was making big moves, money moves, and that's how it goes. You know, this is why we have them NAACP, why they infiltrated that, why they have the boule, because they want to make sure they get all the people that's at these top levels and doing big things in business under their umbrella. So Noble Drew was a plant for that, to get people to segue over to Shriners as well as NOI, and all that stuff is tied in together. I showed you guys how all that shit works. It's all tied in. Like I said, you look at the pictures of those people when you just Google Shriners and ask yourself, is that person Muslim? You shouldn't be following, don't worry about no faith. If it's a faith, then it's false. Original now, what's the deal, my guy? Matter of fact, I think I saw your email. I think I saw it when it popped up, man. It's been a busy day, but I'm gonna get to it. Let's see. Yeah, like you know, don't get too down on those numbers, man. Like if you see something that sell for like $6, don't look at it like that. Some people see something that's selling for like $3 and $6, and they're like, man, I'm not selling that. It's not enough money. But again, you gotta do the numbers game. You get 2,000 people to buy something for $6. It's a lot of money. So you're never gonna know. You know, it's just, that's how shit go. Uh, Stuff goes viral quickly that sells, and I mean, look at who making a crazy killing. She's gonna be a billionaire in a couple of years. Miss Rachel, the Miss Rachel Doll, you know, sold out so quick. Her little stuff that she released sold out quick. So she had to deal with Walmart and Target and what have you, and Amazon to put out a certain amount. I mean, it sold out in like minutes. The little Miss Rachel stuff. So her brand is going to be retarded because it's crazy. What a lot of people did was grab a whole bunch of that shit. A lot of the wholesalers went out and paid full price and grabbed like thousands of those dolls, and they're reselling them right now for a killing. So there's a lot of ways to get in and make money. Ads is the way to go. is the way to go. I mean, selling organically works when you got like a personal product, like you something that you created, that people might want to buy, like shea butters and oils and stuff like that. You probably get a lot of organic sales for that, but at the same time, I would cover all bases and still sell online and still use the not affiliate programs, but fulfillment programs if you're selling that much, and any type of social media to sell on. I was selling all that, so it just depends on what you're selling. No, anybody like a lot of these football players. I mean, they smart now. They get them those business courses and classes and everything like that. I know a couple football players. They have a whole fucking week of like welcome to the millionaire program, basically, where they walk them through a lot of ways to keep their money. But then when you're at that level, anyway, you have a lot of people coming to you with ideas, celebrities too, like rappers or what have you. A lot of people pitching stuff to you. But when you have the money to buy in bulk like that, it's just something you can just set up and have it running. There's no way when you get to a certain amount of money, there's no way you should lose it unless you run into IRS shit like I did. Excuse me. That's how it be, man. That money comes in, man. Amazon pays out monthly, but those checks be big. I was shocked, to make 700 in that first month, and I wasn't really going that hard. So once I got that 700, and I seen Dad with that little effort, I made 700. I just tripled my effort. I just put more time in it. Then after a while, when you understand the algorithm and how shit works, you know how to set your ad. So once I found like the right programming as far as targeting on doing the boost posts, I kept it that way, and it's been working ever since. So sometimes you can just go in there and add more tags of people who you want to target, and you can make money. And like I said, it's a lot of young people on here looking, a lot of people getting first time jobs. I mean, it's a lot of stuff you got to think about as far as targeting people and selling certain things. There's a lot of people who it's just a lot of areas you got to think about for people who you want to appeal to. A lot of people getting their first gigs. They just moving out of mom crib. They got to buy a lot of stuff. It's a lot of little teeny things you can sell. Shit. You can make crazy money off of just selling like a lot of little Pampers. It's gonna sell. It's money. A lot of kid stuff. Baby stuff sells quickly. Where we at? 3:47. A lot of people up early. No, filing taxes is easy. It's not complicated at all. Man, you get a 1099 or 1099K, 1040 or what have you. It's easy to go. Jay Bird, what's the deal? Yeah, my issue with taxes came from having overseas accounts. The IRS, when you transferring, like that's where all my money is. The bulk of my money is in my overseas account. I don't really keep much money here, so sometimes I got to transfer money over. And when you have a business and you transfer money to overseas accounts, a lot of times they think you're doing something false because you're sending away a lot of money out of this country, which is keeping it out of the IRS and government hands, which is the point basically. Raquel, what's the deal? Yeah, we're going to do a whole course on the algorithm on Merkabah Scholar Society. We're going to get into that because you guys got to, I started really getting into it a few years ago, and I think I mastered it now, especially for targeting and advertising. But we're going to get into how this algorithm works because you can use it for a lot of different things. And when I did the first meeting, I just had a whole, lesson a friend was showing me on how it works with stock trading, and how they're using the algorithm. You guys probably seen a lot of those little infomercials on social media about growing or using the algorithm AI to basically play the stock market. And what that day I did the video, I made like 1,300, just in that one day, just beginning, starting out. So, I'm learning a lot more now. Yeah, baby registries is money, man. Everybody that's pregnant, put them out. It's a way that people who know somebody that's pregnant supports. I know we used it for my daughter, and a lot of people supported on that. So the baby registry is a good thing to put out because somebody will take your product and just put it in a registry if they want it. Stuff like wipe warmers, the little diaper genie. I sell that stuff. You're gonna make crazy money off of it, especially the white warmer. Because first time parents, you got a couple kids, you don't give a shit. You wiping them with cold wipes. A lot of first time parents, they want to get the wipe warmers to put the wipes in, so it's not super cold. And it's good because like if you changing a baby diaper while they sleep, then you don't want to use no cold ass wipe, and it's a lot of people don't want to use it. So that's another thing that sells well. The diaper genie and the white warmers, that's something that's going to always make money. So definitely would sell those. Pacifiers, now they got all kinds of new ones out. Another thing that's money is all of the, what do you call it, the breastfeeding equipment, because that stuff get expensive. So selling that on affiliate is good because it's expensive and people buy it, and it's a good percentage you get off of that. Oh no, no shell corp. Nope. Don't even put that in on here. IRS is already watching. Yeah, man, it's a good way to target. A lot of people, baby stuff gonna sell because people just be wanting to support, and that's just global. That's just something that's going to happen. So having it and promoting stuff out, like my baby stuff sells. It's so quick. Like I said, that's how I blew up in the beginning, selling that a lot. The numbers was crazy, but it's gonna be one of the things that's shared the most. And then if somebody takes your link and put it in a registry, excuse me, that's good because then everybody who they follow who can see the registry, they seeing your link or links, and somebody eventually is going to click on it. Like I said, it's a numbers game. Yeah, breastfeeding is in. A lot of people breastfeeding, especially now since they got a lot of the little pumps and they got the portable ones. There's a lot of equipment, and it's way cheaper. The milk is free. The little the baggies, the freeze the milk, all that stuff is money, man. All that stuff is money. So it's a good product to sell. A lot of people don't know. So another thing you can do. That's another thing. So when you're selling products, this is what I would recommend doing when you're doing the Facebook. So let's say you are selling one of the breast pump machines on the affiliate program. Go on TikTok, go on Facebook, or go on YouTube. There's a bunch of how-to videos. So what you could do is you could put the pump up there, or you could put whatever product up there, and then under it you could put a video on that's already promoting your product. The links is free. Copy and paste that, so people who on your page, they can see a video of the product, and then right under it you got the link, your Amazon link, right there. So again, that'll be on your page, video for the product, a promo from the product, and then boom, they have the link to where they can buy. So it's a good way to do things, especially now with a lot of people making TikTok videos showing products. Luke, what's the deal? Brianna, what's going on? Yeah, so like when you start out, I just recommend this. Like write it down, come up with a product list, just search products. I mean, you guys probably seen a lot of products that you might want to use, but just think about it in terms of selling, bulk and selling to what's going to sell. A lot of things is just real easy, numbers you can come up with. Cameras is always high on my list. It's the number one seller, number one selling electronic in the world. Cameras always sell. Cameras, phones, of course, that stuff is going to sell. So, if you want to go the electronic route, those are going to be the top two things you want to have up there. Cameras, phones, video games, all that little portable stuff sells quickly. Remember, man, I was selling them back when people were still using MP3s. So those sold a whole lot. Remember when iPods were selling? Now it's just you got to sell the right phone. You can. That's another thing you can do with the affiliate program. You actually sell what's popular right now. So I have a lot of those links up. We're gonna get into it on Merkabah Scholar Society, one of the videos. We got a meeting coming up soon. You guys will get an email. Let's see, 62. Dude really got to handle that. What's people fucking cycles are? The fuck? Dr. CEOT, what's the deal? I want to know if these trolls getting paid, bro. I want to know who is selling to these people. Who is buying what these trolls are selling? I done deleted a bunch of these guys out here. Yeah, so make sure you guys just come up with a list, man. Just think about what you want to sell, and just remember when you're doing the affiliate program anyway, all that stuff, everything on Amazon is available to you. You should come with an affiliate link. You'll see once you get into it, your Amazon will change. You'll look at the top and you'll see the bar where showing that you're an affiliate. But any product you click on, you just click on that bar at the top and get the link. And if you have your own site, you can get the or the short code is what you want to use for social media, but you can also get the entire div and post it on your site, and then you can edit that thing to make it say what you want and put it on your website. So it's good. Yeah, they're already trolling at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was 4 o'clock in the morning over here. That's like I said, man. These dudes must be getting paid for trolling. They have to be getting some type of check. Jumping on live, like what's your life really like? You on live at 4 and 7 in the morning, trolling. My man got a whole profile picture of Diddy. Like this dude really created a whole page about Diddy, the troll. Like it's crazy. Been off about an hour now. Yeah, like people funny, man. Like that's what I be thinking. Like damn, does people get money from that? Like and then at the same time, a person doing a live, unless you're on here to just bullshit, you don't want people jumping into your shit, distracting people. So I don't understand it. You want to delete it. Marcus, what's the deal? Again, people, I apologize for coming on dumb late. I fell asleep, man. I ain't gonna lie. I passed out. It's a busy day. Busy day. Yeah, a bunch of them private versions. Steve Griff, what's your mind like that you on here trolling? Like you on here trolling on social media. You could be on the phone with a girl, or you could be playing fucking video games. There's a lot of shit you could be doing than online trolling. So these people ain't got no life. That's what it is. Yeah, Noble Drew got, but that's the thing when when that shit was going on around that time, a lot of people was fighting for a position. And then what happens is that message, man. Like I think coming into something like that, you don't understand how much support you're gonna get. But then when you get a lot of people surrounding you, what happens is when you go public with something like that, there's a lot of smart people out there, and they do their research. And then when people bring that to your attention, you either going, you're gonna pass or fold. So and then a lot of people grow conscious, like Dr. King did, and then you start to see like, oh shit, like my people following me. I got all these people that believe in me, and then you realize that you're doing something that's being controlled. When you start to put out truth, that's a wrap. That's what Malcolm realized. I talked about that with Malcolm X when he went over to the holy city. He went to Egypt. He saw the truth. Excuse me. And he could no longer practice Islam the way that the NOI was teaching because he knew it was bullshit. And that's what his speech was going to be about that morning he was killed, the day he was killed. He was going to come out and he already talked about it. He was doing the interviews and he was saying, hey, when he came out and said, hey, if Elijah Muhammad practiced Islam the way he's practicing it over there, they'll cut his head off. And he was right. That was wrong. Something he shouldn't have said because it made people look into the whole thing. But him having that reach and then knowing the truth was too dangerous. They had to get rid of him. Yeah, D. Griff, I know a couple dudes that was in their 30s and 40s that were still virgins because they was waiting till they get married because they was Christians and they didn't want to go to hell. So yeah, it happens. The hell? Do you believe in God and that He is our Father? No, my father's name is Larry Griffin. I don't know nobody else that's my father. Trump Vance 24. Yeah, whatever. I wonder if these guys getting paid too. Top one here and promote Kamala or Trump. Y'all guys getting a check too, I guess. Now I'm a Grant, but my my dad is a Griffin. But on my mom's side, my mom kept her father's last name. You know how that shit go. You have kids, you're gonna keep your last name, or you're gonna take the dad. My mom said, hell no, keeping my family last name on her side. But yeah, my dad's a Griffin. We had a whole Griffin side of the family. Griffin, Smith, Allen, Grant, Johnson, all that. Oh, we related regardless, but yeah. PG Gaming, what's the deal? Yeah, the Moorish science thing was popping in the 20s. It's popping in the 20s and 30s. I mean, it's been around for a long time. People don't understand how old that is, because they wiped those guys out, man. You guys got to remember, it was two types. I talked about that in Black and White's video. But you can't get into Moors in America without running into Noble Drew Ali stuff, and you'll see how that went down. And it's almost the same shit throughout history with us. Religion destroys. Start bringing in religion and shit, especially when it's controlled by an outside source anyway. It's stuff not gonna stick around for a long time. And the link for the Moors and NOI and all that stuff was to get the smarter minds, the people that was, smart enough to understand secret societies, to come into the Masonry and Shriners. And that's what that shit was about, was collecting those people. It wasn't so much about the information that was put out straight away. It was about getting people into the secret society part that was smart enough to be into it, and then bringing them under the umbrella, which is what that was about in the first place. That's what they did. But yeah, we got into that, and I got into that in my Islam video as well. So I have information on that. But yeah, so I was talking about for people who came in late. The app should be available today or tomorrow. It's in testing phase. I posted a video on Instagram of the app so far running. It's going to be iOS and Android, of course. So just testing it out. It's a couple little bugs that we got to fix. So it'll be available today or tomorrow. So you guys will get the email to download the app. So stay tuned for that, and you guys get the email for the next meeting pretty soon. Oh yeah, Garvey was having me, and it's the same thing with the NOI. The NOI was having meetings with the KKK. Excuse me. I haven't had meetings, but I've had talks with the KKK. But the reason why what happens is, one, they always come in and want to know if they're aligned with the same message. So the thing is, one, if you guys remember, and I talked about this as well too, when the NOI was having those meetings, and the pictures are out there of the actual meeting that they had with the KKK and Nazi Klan members and what have you, sitting at, you see them sitting in the chair next to NOI members. But the thing was, one, that's control. The same people that control the KKK and Nazism, Jewish. It's the same thing. Plants, all that stuff is controlled. But it was to, one, to see if Garvey could be bought, to be honest with you, and to see what his message was. Because like the Klans changed from, since they realized you can't wipe out completely black people, it changed to the message. So the message was to, basically see what direction that he was really going into, and make sure it was their message was aligned, which was, for them is basically, are you trying to push the message of unity, or are you trying to keep the races separate, which is what they wanted. Dumbass question, if you're still watching. What's the point of all this information? What does it do for us? Stupid ass question. If you don't know that by now, you shouldn't be on here. Yeah, that stuff is controlled, man. Yeah, who better to have as agents for, the powers that be is, KKK members or what have you. That stuff is controlled, even still to this day. You have those independent sects, but they don't got no power. They can't do anything. But when they send them out there to march and protest, it's for a reason. Those people are smart. A lot of them are part of those militia groups, those American groups. And a lot of times they go out there just information, what have you. They're still doing this stuff to this day, but we don't have any leaders anymore like we used to. So it's not the same. Yeah, controlled opposition. That's how you got to use it. It's how you infiltrate, but it's also how you understand the message of, your enemy. And like I said, I broke this down. I showed you guys. I told you NOI is run by the Jews. So it's the reason why Farrakhan's still alive. So you don't have a million. I mean, think about it. You think you have a 1,000,000-man march? They're gonna let you do that and have that kind of control and power if you not putting out the message they want you to put out. They would have got rid of him a long time ago. He already did the job for them in getting rid of Malcolm X. So you gotta understand all that stuff is connected. NOI, Shriners, all that shit is connected, man. Those are all under the umbrella of and being controlled by Jews. So don't look at that stuff as separate, even though it may seem separate. Judaism and Islam, and I showed you guys all this, so you know it's the same shit, controlled by the same shit. And that's what happens for a lot of people that's new to the information, who just looking into it. You're not going to run into that straight away. It's take a lot of digging to see how that fits in. But again, you got to ask yourself certain questions of how are these people allowed to exist if they're putting out, especially in those type of numbers. You're not having a 1,000,000-man march, man, that's being televised and advertised. No, there's no way. Excuse me. They'll get rid of you quickly. But yeah, like I said, Islam is the easiest one, the hardest one, the easiest one to go ahead and rip apart, because it doesn't have any deep roots. The roots is going to take you back to the worship of Hubble, moon worship, and then when you see the whole Syriac Orthodox Christianity angle, then it's over. Then you found the root of it, which I broke that down as well. So when you start coming out of that and following it, you'll see what happened with it. It's crazy for anybody that's African or black to follow Islam. To me, when you look at the history of it, before we even got into it, these people wasn't enslaving us. I mean, think about that. Why would you want to follow it? Because when you trace the roots back, you're not tracing it back to black people. It's going back to the Arabs. So, and then what was they doing at the time that they was getting this stuff together? They was taking our land. They was created for that reason. And they united them under Islam, then used them to go and infiltrate African countries and take over lands from African people. And what happened? We've seen that happen to the Moors first. They got the Moors out the way first, So I don't understand how people jump on that. Oh, there's only one Quran. Just like with the Bible, we don't have the original Quran. We have the book. You guys have seen that. I put it in the video. It's this big, giant, thick Quran. It's like super thick. And it's all over the place. It's all over the place. I've been working on reading Arabic for a long time, so I can read it a little bit and speak it a little bit. But it's all over the place when you get into it. And then, as I said, Muslims will tell you the imams who really study the Bible and the hadiths, I tell you, a lot of that stuff don't make no sense. A lot of it, even with the language, there's a lot of the language that they can't understand with Arabic, because it's a new language. When you really put it in terms, it's new. We're talking about coming out in AD times. It's not a BC language. It's an AD language, just like English. So, yeah, a lot of that stuff is unknown. It's just a lot of the hadiths and a lot of the Quran, the surahs, it's tough to even interpret and understand. A lot of them don't even go with each other. It's like you can tell it was just stories just thrown around, in the book. So, even with that, it's not no real cohesiveness with the entire Quran as it is with the Christian Bible, where it's really well thought out, like really good. But like I said, you can see what that's about. Oh yeah, and because a lot of those dudes sold out. I mean, you get shocked what people do when faced with death, especially a brutal killing. When these people cut your hands and cut your head off and kill your entire family, a lot of those people sold out. So it is what it is. But again, when you start tracing that shit back, you see what happened. Especially when you start seeing the conversions, because a lot of that shit is public knowledge. People know it was a lot of converting. A lot of rulers that converted I talked about that with we see with Mansa Musa, Sunni Ali, with the Songhai and Mali empires converting to Islam. All that shit was forced. No matter how you slice it, restricting somebody's trade and trade routes because of religious affiliation is control. So it's either you convert or we're not going to do trade with you anymore. We're going to trade with your enemies. Yeah, that's control. So that's what was going on a lot. A lot of those empires converted for trade reasons, business. And again, if the Africans understood what they was walking on and the commodities that they naturally produced, then it wouldn't have been a problem. Getting people out of the understanding of business and into the understanding of religion, which is what they wanted to do, that's how they was able to infiltrate. Letty, you corny. That's why you're getting blocked off here. Corny ass people. See you. No, Sunny Ali didn't. Then remember, we still have actual quotes. We have writings from Sunny Ali. And remember, the whole issue was he didn't want to convert to Islam. He didn't want to do that. A lot of the empires didn't want to, but they had to. I'm going to see the tomb. No, I haven't been seeing the tomb of the Prophet at all. Uh, I've been to Mecca. I've been to Holy City. I've been to the Kaaba. I've been to Medina. I've been to a couple places years ago when I was in the military. I traveled to a lot of Arab countries. Um, and I mean, it was actually okay for the most part, being over there. But we was military, so we got a little bit more respect. Um, so you go over to a lot of these countries. So Abraham supposed to have a tomb. Supposed to have found a tomb of. They even got a tomb of Job, believe it or not. But none of that stuff is proven. There's no proof. I mean, that the body's actually there. There's no proof that Muhammad lived. Again, if you go and look at the Syriac Peshitta, and I broke this down, look at this is before Islam. So in the Syriac Peshitta, Jesus was called a Muhammad because Muhammad simply means a person that's worthy of praise. So in the Syriac Peshitta, which predates Islam, Jesus is called a Muhammad. So that's all Muhammad meant. And again, when you go back and translate all of those words and sayings back to Syriac, you see that all they did was take Orthodox Christianity and convert it to what we call Islam. They just stole from there. So a lot of the traditions and like the garbs and everything comes from Syriac Orthodox Christianity, which remember it was in Syria. Remember Abdul Malik went into Syria and was converting those people over, outlawing the language, making them speak Arabic and everything like that, forcing that on the people. So I broke all that down and showed the proof. I know, right? Somebody named Abraham and Isaac. Like I was saying the other day, Adam. Like really? First name Adam? Really? Day Peace, what's going on, good brother? Yeah, so I mean, again, man, it just takes a little research. I mean, who came up with it, who talked about it first, which you're not going to find. But one second. Let's get those. Let me just go to Wi-Fi. Real fast. Yeah, there's a Masonic Quran. It's called Shriners. No, no, it's no Masonic Quran. Quran is the Quran. They would never, never, they would never do that. Anybody who will put out such a thing, they'll track them down and kill them. But I mean, that's where Islam is rooted in. Same thing. All that stuff is all connected, which is why they all have roots. Well, not roots. They all have connections with Masonry. Same stuff. Same shit. But yeah, when you go back there and start looking, man, that's what you're gonna find. The further back you go, the more you start getting into moon worship. But you can't miss the connection with Syriac Orthodox Christianity as to the roots of where it came from. That's all they did was use it because you had the majority of at that time growing business-wise and growing in power-wise was in Syria. And then you got to remember, Arabs there was Christians and Jews before Islam. Because you got to think about it, we don't get Islam until the 7th century. So what were these people before the 7th century? And that's not hard. That's the thing is a lot of people can't think critically, so they don't even know history at all. And you got to know real history to figure this stuff out. So when you start going back in real history, you got to ask yourself, what was these people before Islam? Because there was a before Islam. Unlike the Bible, where the Bible, it's supposed to be before, in the beginning of time, and we're supposed to have, showing that Moses and them carried the Ark of the Covenant, and it was basically writing as they go, which of course is not true. We can't prove that. But with Islam, it's a lot easier because we know it's a whole bunch of time before that, and how out of nowhere, we get the Quran. So what was these people doing before that, and what was going on before that? Like I always say to Muslims, God waited thousands of years, to give us the correct religion. We had Judaism, Christianity going on for all those years, and then finally God said, hey, you know what? I'm going to speak to this dude, Muhammad, and give him the real religion. Even though I allowed you guys to be fucking under these other two religions for fucking hundreds, thousands of years, I'm going to finally give you guys the correct one. It don't make sense. So it's common sense to tell you. Then your God, it takes you, 23 years to give a dude a message? And you're God and you created this person, you can't just, 23 years to reveal a message to one person? No, come on. Some of that stuff is common sense. And then again, like I said, all the stuff that's leading up to the infancy of Islam, when you start tracing those terminologies back, I showed you guys how it goes back to Syriac Orthodox Christianity, and that's where it came from. So, people who do the real research, you'll find it. Yeah, you'll be shocked, man. A lot of people go over to that religion, especially guys, because a lot of guys like having the idea of multiple wives. So a lot of dudes go over to Islam for that reason. A lot of sisters go over there because they don't have any real faith in themselves, or they have like low self-esteem. I think as a woman, for you to openly and willingly convert to Islam, you gotta have, first of all, you gotta be ignorant, because we understood how Islam views women as something you wouldn't want to be a part of. But you have to have a real low self-esteem to subject yourself to a religion that puts you under the man's foot and disrespect you so much. Like, I don't understand why a lot of women would even want to practice a religion that has such disrespect for women. It's crazy. So knowledge is important, because when you understand what the stuff talks about, it's something you wouldn't want to join. You live by a mosque, so you hear Akbar, Allah, Akbar. Every morning. A shadow of light, law. Those things be out in numbers. OG, what's the deal? Fred Hampton, what's going on? We here. I know a lot of you guys probably was waiting since like 10 o'clock. I passed out, man. I had a long day. I'm getting old, man. A long day, a lot of work, a lot of running around. And it's fucking 100 degrees out here today. It's fucking big. Traffic was nuts. Busy day. But yeah, I'm here. I wanted to just keep people updated on the app because I know a lot of people ask questions about it, send emails. So again, testing the app. A lot of you guys, well, I only consider like 5 people to help out. So you guys see where we at. I posted a video on social media of the app running on the phone. So again, so we should hopefully have that out today or tomorrow. You guys, stay tuned and watch your emails. And then, once it's out, I'll do a video for Merkabah Scholar Society members only, and you guys will see how it runs and how it is. So if you have Instagram, it's kind of sort of like Instagram. So Merkabah Academy is like Facebook. This one is going to be like Instagram. So you guys see how it goes. It's dope. You guys like it. Oh, third eye perception. Man, so your purpose is to experience. That's your purpose. That's something that a lot of deep thinking and critical thinking will lead you to. It's experience. You got to understand consciousness and how consciousness works, and that you can't perceive anything without experience. You can't, like, without you experiencing something, you can't grow, like, because you have no data, no knowledge to feed off to expand. So, how does something come into existence? You have an idea first. Where do you get ideas from? From things that you experience. So when you experience stuff, even if you're watching TV or what have you, you got an experience of things. You have an idea now. And with that idea, you can formulate through your own creativity to come up with something. That's taking those ideas and then growing and expanding them. So think about that concept. So when you think about purpose, so a lot of people say, oh, I was put here to be a cop. I was born to be a cop. That's my purpose. It's not your purpose because, it didn't exist thousands of years ago. Go back. Let's go back 20,000 years when people was walking around. What was they doing? So if you think you was put here for a purpose, what was the purpose? What's the point? And then, so if there's a point to it, how you would look at that is you would say, okay, well, these people who came before me, they came and they did this. And because they did this, I can do this today. There's a progression to it. And we don't see that. So it's people who lived thousands of years ago. You have absolutely no idea their footprint, or what they did. So what was their purpose as far as what they did contributing to society and the growth of mankind? They just existed. So then you have to look at it and say, well, is it some people that was put here for a specific reason, or because their contributions is something that we can benefit from today? Or is it people just like who get benefits being here, or who just here for no reason at all? So when you really dig into that aspect of it, you can't say there's a purpose as far as a specific thing, that's just like, novel. But experience, experience is the one that stands out the most, because through experience, you grow. So the idea one, that's why we have this whole money system. Because money is the yin yang of the whole thing. If we just let you go out and be free and go out, then it's a whole side of existence that you're missing, which is the struggle. And you got to have that balance. So you have experience that you can go out. The more money you got, the more you can go experience. The less you have, the less experience you have. There's a balance to it. So, as far as like if you really want to get to the root answer of purpose, your purpose is to experience. Get out there, experience the world, grow, grow in consciousness. Yeah, ancestors we don't know about. I mean, you got to think about purpose, man. Purpose, it wouldn't be such a thing. I mean, if everything just stayed the way it was back then, I mean, you can't point to something to say it's a purpose, you know what I mean? Because a purpose, or it's too many people. Because, okay, so how many people do you need to fulfill something that we're going to use? It's, it can't be that. So, when you really get deep into this whole thing, you'll understand that it's just experience. That's what it's all about. Experiencing. Growing, because consciousness can't expand without perception. So you have existence. I talked about this before. It's real deep. You have existence, and consciousness is expanding based on existence, right? Consciousness can't expand unless existence has something for consciousness to perceive for it to expand. So existence has to create. This is where we get the whole flower of life pattern, what it's talking about energy moving and eventually creating the energy, the atoms, the elements, the material, and then from those materials we can have different experiences with those and the infinite possibilities of this material. And that's what we're living in now. So consciousness saying, hey, in order for me to grow, I need to experience. So how am I going to do that? And then, get into that whole conundrum. Different experiences, different dimensions. If I, went left or right, that's two different experiences. I want to experience both as consciousness. So I'm going to create dimensions to where I can experience both of those, possibilities. So when you start getting into it, it's way deeper than what I'm talking about. You can understand that it's just experience, no other purpose. What's that? Nubia 9, yeah. Suffering is a part of it. Suffering is a part of experience. It's what the Buddhists talk about. But the Buddhists, which is why they're changing now, the Buddhists just looked at material as suffering. It's a part of Gnosticism when you really think about it. It's what the Gnostics talk about. Wanting, because now you have these materialistic things that people want and they can't get. The more the society grows, the more we get new products or what have you. There's always going to be constant suffering because they looked at wanting as suffering. So material to them was evil, and suffering is a part of life, plain and simple. Even without the materialistic things that we have today, like video games, TV, or what have you, there's still going to be suffering because there's hunger, and you have to eat, and then you're suffering if you're not eating, and if you're not eating the stuff that you want. That's that animalistic nature that the Egyptians was talking about. The first instinct of, when you're born is to feed. And the instinct of these, animals is feeding. It's constantly on their mind. Eat, 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 feed. so they can rest, and then they go back out and feed again. That's the purpose of these animals. Excuse me. Look at the big cats. That's all they do: hunt, eat, rest, play, repeat the cycle. They're not trying to understand math. Cats. It's just zombie. Eat, 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 feed, what have you. So on our level, understanding consciousness, that's what separates us from everything, and it's what the whole idea behind the Sphinx and the teachings of the ancient Egyptians is about. Is understanding that people say it's intellect. It's not intellect. A lot of people say, oh, it's intellect over animal nature. It's consciousness over animal nature, because consciousness, it's basically intellect, but it's understanding this consciousness, everything that entails to keep you from suffering from the lower level, which is this animalistic, body that we have. When you really get into it, deep stuff, deep stuff. But they can't change history. You can't change. History is always going to be history. They can change the information about it as far as like what they want to say history is. That's why it's good to know the truth. Truth is how you get around all that and understanding like what really happened. So again, they've been changing history for a long time, but you can't really change history. There has to be, it has to make sense. So that's what research and knowledge is about. So you go and search for that truth, what makes the most sense, and you go from there, and then let that be your truth. There's a lot of shit they put out, it's bullshit, but learning from the past is, it's easier said than done, because a lot of people just get caught up in what was and a tradition, and they follow in the same type of bullshit. You got to figure out what was the reason for certain things, and then the truth behind it, and then follow that. A lot of this stuff is bullshit. Life isn't fair day. Yeah, that's man's creation right there. All the stuff you're talking about, that's man's creation. The way things is, but there's a deeper way of looking at it. You got to look at it as far as balance. There's a balance to it, and that's what it's really about. As I said before, the universe don't give a damn about a lot of shit. And what we think is right and wrong is just not universally right and wrong. It just is what it is, because there's two sides to every coin. You look at a lion that goes out, always use this analogy. You look at a lion that goes out and eats a baby buffalo, to us that's wrong, but, the lion gotta eat, and that's its nature. You have to exist and you want to exist, but that lion has to eat. It's its nature, just how it is. And it's just how that whole thing works. But for us, it's a balance to it all. So again, as I always say, if everybody who was able to drive could drive, the roads would be crowded. We wouldn't be able to drive cars. So practically, theoretically, I should say, but it's truth. Everybody can't have a car. We can't allow everybody to have a car, because then, whoever. So basically, look at it. Who wants it more? Who's going to put in the work? Those people get the rewards. You can't just hand off cars to everybody. The roads will be overcrowded. Think about that. That's a deeper answer right there. The frogs is hilarious too, by the way. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is everything. To cause starvation, what do you mean cause starvation? Food is everywhere. It's abundant. Some people lack the knowledge of how to grow food and how to get food. So, I mean, you can't really cause starvation because you can always get up out of your situation and go. And or the people could come together collectively. Now, you can oppress or starve a certain amount of people. You're not starving the world. And that's how you got to look at it. Starving a little group of people somewhere is not the same. Now, if it was starving the entire planet, then you would look at it in that way. But we're talking about a group of people that's being starved by possibly only a few people, but those group of people lack the knowledge or the will to come together and fix the situation. That's due to fear and ignorance. So that's what their whole thing is tied up into. If nobody can really cause you suffering, you can allow somebody to make you suffer, and that's basically what's going on. So if you're all suffering as a group, you need to collectively come together and fix that problem. What's happening is individuals are allowing themselves to be distracted by fear or what have you, and they're not fixing the problem. So it's not really somebody causing it, it's what people are allowing. People are allowing things to happen. And then even as an individual, you can go out on your own right, away from the people, and figure out a way to feed yourself. Starvation is is something somebody really can't pose on you. It's something you gotta allow to happen. Oh, Fred Hampton, yeah, the future gonna be cool, man. It's just what's going to have to happen for us to get to that point. A lot of bullshit. Yeah, Marcus. So in the video I talked about that. Those, I remember I showed you guys the photos. Uh, those people who we put it this way. So when you go look up Native Americans, right, and then you see the pictures of them with the feather hair dress and dressed primitively. I mean, there's only one people who you can equate that to as far as the visuals is in Africa. That's where we first see people dressing like the Bushmen and dressing that way. Those were the original Moors. That's how they came over, looking like the Bushmen and dressing that way. Excuse me. And later on, we get the more intellectual Moors, just like in Africa. We have the tribal Africans, and you have the more, let's just say sophisticated Africans, which was the kingdoms back in the day. But those Moors were here already in America. They already had shit popping over here. Things was already going well, and they were growing until what happened. But they were living a spiritual lifestyle, and then you had a separate group that was more into the trading and business part of it. How it was back then. And as I said, they knew about the Moors that was here, and they sold them out. But yeah, they was a part of course, that Moorish knowledge was a part of the creation of Black Wall Street, because you got to ask yourself, where did that information come from? The white man didn't teach it. They already had the shit. And then, you already had, of course, up in the north, people, black people that was already established and doing things, eventually got wiped out. But yeah, a lot of those people were, for sure, Moors, man, had their knowledge, that business knowledge we had for a long time. Trade is the key. But then you got to look at it. If you're trading amongst yourselves as a people and growing your society as a people, then nothing can stop that. Because if you got business, one, you're going out and you get money from your people. But then if you have a situation where white folks got to buy from you, you basically was doing to them what they did to us. Remember, you had white folks that worked in Black Wall Street. There's white people that worked in Black Wall Street. That's how they understood what was going on. They sold out too. Like, they had white people working in those stores. So again, a lot of those people came home. You had the KKK, of course. They couldn't stand for that. They couldn't see that. So what happened happened. They say the animal make each other suffer by eating each other. Now that's their nature. They don't make. It's their nature. It's what they are. You can't change a nature of what a being is. That's in them. That's coded in their DNA for them to do that. It's not like they have a choice. That's in them. We have choice. So, you know, we can choose. I mean, it's in our nature to eat meat. We can eat meat if we want to, but you can choose not to. And that's the difference between us and them. Again, consciousness. We can choose, they can't choose. It's a part of their nature. It's what they are. It's just how it is. But it's lessons in that. We can look at their animal kingdom and look at what's going on over there, and there's lessons we can learn from it as a people, which we have over the years. But at the same time, they're our food too. So, hold on one second. I gotta get my charger. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, balance like Thanos. Yeah, they trying to give you that understanding with that, or what they trying to talk about as far as balance. A little bit. Let me see. All right, sorry about that. I had to get the charger. Ooh. Okay. It's still wicked nature. Yeah, but wicked by your understanding. Not wicked by the universe. Because again, a lion can go eat a baby buffalo. Who's going to stop it? No police is coming to arrest that lion. So not even animal police. No such thing. So y'all missing y'all missing why stuff is done. Like it's you got to understand one what a circus is about. Why is the Shriners right? Understand this. Why does the Shriners have a circus? You understand why is the circus mixed up with masonry? I showed you guys this in the video. You got to understand what that's about. One, understand it. Can't you train a lion? You can train elephants. We're showing you there's some type of intelligence there, right? So it's trying to give you and show you this. It's a lot that's wrapped up into that. But one second. Yeah, it's their nature. It's just showing you how our intellect overcomes theirs, and their consciousness is different. But at the same time, we are masters of them. We can show them how to do certain things and control them. Uh, and it's just giving you a insight into that world and how we can control what they're doing. But at the same time, it's you know I didn't want to get into that too deep because if I would have said what I wanted to say, it's a rabbit hole. But different understanding.
We have free will. We creating. You still got free will because you have to choose to be controlled or not, and that's what we're doing. We're choosing to be controlled, and it is done the way it's done for that reason. It's covertly done. So that's what consciousness is about: understanding what's being covertly done to you and not being subjected to it. But again, we are choosing to accept that control. We are choosing to accept that oppression. People do it out of fear. People scared to die, or people just want money, or what have you. It's, like I said, it's what Kanye talked about when he said slavery was a choice. And a lot of people attacked him for that because they didn't understand what he was saying. And then, when you get into the Nat Turner insurrection, you can understand why that happened and why that came about. Because they chose to not be slaves no more. People chose to run away and escape to the north. But then people chose to be docile and stay and suffer. That's a choice, something you have to choose to do. And the thing is, one, to you guys are looking at it and saying you are completely ignoring death. You're ignoring that because you're scared, and to you, it's not an option, but it's an option. So, you know, going back to slavery, when they talk about the slaves jumping off the slave ships and drowning themselves because they'd rather die than be a slave, you got to think about that. So you have a choice. So with Nat Turner and with a lot of the insurrections that happened, they chose to not be slaves. A lot of people were scared to die, so they chose to be a slave. There's no way in the world I'd rather die. I'm just telling you personally. There's no way in the world you're going to have me fucking shaving your balls and shit, feeding you food and all that for the rest of my life. I won't spend my entire existence serving another man. It's not that much fear in the world. You have to blow my brains out, hang me from a fucking tree before I spend my entire existence serving you. So again, that's what he was trying to say. And then what they, and I forget what video I did this in, what they didn't or don't really talk about, you can go research this for yourself. It's all of the uprisings that happened towards the end of slavery. It wasn't so much about Lincoln freeing the slaves. It was the fact that they couldn't control us no more, and you was having a lot of people rising up. And remember, all you had to do was make it to the north, where it was no slavery. And what they risked was, because the news was spreading, they risked all the slaves coming together and having one big insurrection, which would have wiped out the South. They would have killed a bunch of people. So they was thinking about that, and it had to end up happening. Even still, the South didn't want it to, so they fought for it. Peace, Suran. Gramantiras and everything. Yeah, exactly. We can't all be on top because it wouldn't be no work. It's society. They kind of gave you that hint in the Matrix movie. You guys remember the first Matrix when he was talking to Morpheus when he had him. He was telling him the first Matrix they designed to be perfect. But people kept waking up because there's no balance to it. If you understand deeper what he was saying, there's no balance to that. Everything can't be perfect and go perfectly. People would be bored out their fucking mind. There's no balance to it, which is what it was truly trying to say. You see, people kept waking up and entire crops were lost. So they changed the system to be more like the world was in the 21st century, which was, balance. And then the whole premise behind it is that. So you have the oracle, which represents the yang, you know, feminine imperfection, excuse me, feminine negative energy, I should say. And then you had the yang with the architect, which the yin with the architect, which represented masculine positive energy. That's why if you look at the yin yang symbol, the yang is black. She was a black woman. The yin is white. Was a white man. Male, female, masculine, feminine energy. You guys understand. I broke that whole thing down, but it's balance is what it's getting at. Everybody, like I said, if everybody could be rich, then it would be nothing. Like if everybody had money, then what would it be? You understand? So one, it's going to be that way eventually, to where it's not going to be this. Uh, it's still going to be like rich, but not the way it is now, because what they're trying to push us to is just a cashless society where stuff is run off different things. I mean, if you look at it, when they're trying to get robots to replace everybody, where's the money going to come from? If robots running the majority of things, it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be out of jobs. So how are they going to make money? What's going to be their job? How is society going to go on with this, you know, uh, civilization that is, lacking jobs and money? And yeah, you got to look at the Greek writers that acknowledge Egypt. Again, a lot of these guys we can't prove exist except for writings that they left behind that we can date back to that time, but not specifically prove it was them for the most part. But yeah, I mean, for a long time, hundreds of years, the Greeks was following the ancient Egyptians. Remember, the ancient Egyptians helped them build the Temple of Zeus, which they acknowledged that. So I broke that whole thing down with the Ionians coming over and the Carians coming into Kemet and them attesting to all the stuff that was going there, besides Herodotus talked about this as well. But the Ionians talked about everything the Egyptians was doing for the Greeks and how the Greeks was basically mimicking their culture, but in a different way. Again, I told you guys, you got to look into the whole thing as to why these stories, why these mythologies. Was there a Zeus? You understand what I'm saying? Why build an entire temple dedicated to Zeus that's a mythological character? What is that about? You understand? Why build these? I mean, look at the work that went into that. Why build it? This guy doesn't exist. Or is he talking about something else? So you understand? I mean, it's only a remnants, ruins left of Zeus's temple. But again, remember what's in it: the math, the science that's built into it, and that's what they're trying to convey, which is what he would represent. But the Greeks, as I allude to, they were being controlled by somebody up there, because uh, the it was all that was to infiltrate. They created the Persians. The Persians' job was to get the knowledge from the Greeks, because the Greeks themselves couldn't infiltrate Egypt, because then that would, the cat would be out of the bag, and you had Greek citizens living in Egypt. So the Persians was given the information on how to basically backdoor the Egyptians and get in, and that's how they won. That's how they beat them. They had inside information. And it came in and took over. And then, of course, the Greeks easily took it from the Persians, or the Persians basically handed it to them. As they talk about, remember, Alexander wasn't even in Egypt when it was conquered. Excuse me. He wasn't even there when they took it from the Persians. So that should tell you something. But and remember the letter from from Xerxes, not Artaxerxes, Xerxes to Alexander was basically telling him that they was related. So you guys got to look at that whole thing. It was something that's from whoever had this higher knowledge to even put them on that whole platform of conquest, because there's no way they could have done it on their own. They had some knowledge from somebody that was above. The suffering caused by capitalism. What does capitalism got to do with the universe? Capitalism is a man-made thing. Adults are suffering because of things they're allowing to happen to them. We're talking about a government controlled thing. So all the suffering you want to talk about is going back to a government, going back to a structure that the people can control, but the people are not. You have individuals that want to change things, but it's up to the people as a collective to change things because two people can't change everything. Again, this is something man is on. This is not something that a universal divine force has any control over. This is man's law, and it's up to men to change it. Again, it still goes towards balance. James Mike, that's a crazy question. Yeah, of course they have bathrooms. And like we're greedy. This society is greedy, man. Um, eating, and I just had this whole conversation with somebody like a month ago. Like eating, excuse me, eating is programming. Eating is a form of programming. You guys should know that by now. That's why they have commercials, food commercials as well. It's something you have something that directly appeals to your release of dopamine. When you eat and you eat good food, it releases dopamine. But now they can visually control that. So imagine somebody basically appealing to your serotonin, or let's just say your Saprachi asthmatic nucleus, or your fornix, your choroid plexus, all that. I'm talking about brain stuff. Uh, those visuals appeal to those things. So it's almost like it's a control thing to where the commercials and everything, all the food we spoil now. It's controlling. It's making you want to eat. It's making you go out. That's why they do that. So back then, I mean, they understood nutrition, and none of these things really existed. So they required very little as far as eating um, to survive. Um, you know, it wasn't about the wanting for food and a desire for certain foods. It was just about eating to satisfy and move on, eating for the energy and moving on. So they required very little food back then. And of course, there was bathrooms. I seen them when I was in Egypt. They had bathrooms. Hoop Daddy, my guy, what's the deal? There's a lot of questions here. Y'all come out of nowhere. I'm way up here. I'll catch up to y'all eventually. I want to go back and answer some of these questions. True that Roman created Christianity. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, it smelt it, dealt it, right? It's the Romans. They created Christianity. It's not a coincidence that we start getting Christianity after the Greco-Roman era when the Romans conquered the Greeks, and then we have the Greeks to thank for Judaism, and we get Christianity afterwards. And again, the earliest Christian writings are in Greek. So think about that, which they later converted into Latin with the codices, you know, Codex Vaticanus, Codex Sinaiticus, you know, Alexandrinus, Etham Rescriptum, all those, all in Latin uh, and Greek as well. But yeah, Rome gave us Christianity. It's too much proof behind it already. Now, Kendo art, what's the deal? Trodon, probably. I'm not too familiar with that. Yeah, African Americans or Africans, we've been here first. We're the natives. They're like Native Americans. Like no, those were Moors. They were. Remember, I showed you guys in the Black and Whites video. All they did was change Moor into Indian. That's it. There's documented proof of that. So I showed you guys that in the Black and Whites video. So there's already proof that that's all they did. And you have already a bunch of scholars who mention this and talk about this as well. All they did was change Moor into Indian, plain and simple. They covered up and hid all their information about the Moors, the indigenous Moors who was here first. who we call the Native Americans. And you have Native Americans that drew them. So we have pictures, well, depictions of them that was drawn by Native Americans to show what the people look like who was there. And they're old. They're in the Library of Congress. You have some of the people who wrote in the slave narratives talking about them. A lot of that information was passed down. But you also have people who passed that stuff down in Native American tribes. They know the truth. They know the history. We're going to give you tax exempt status if you keep your mouth shut, plain and simple. And that's what they did. So the lie is, oh, we wiped out. They wiped out entire Native American tribes, making you think it's the people who they show us as being Native Americans. And no, those was the Moors. Again, the lie again is, oh, they brought all these people over here from Africa on ships. That's stupid. I mean, it's dumb for anybody to believe that. Why would you think they would bring thousands of people from Africa on ships to America? Stupid. Because one, you got to think about insurrections, the ship being overtaken, people dying in the transportation process. is it don't make sense. So if you look at it and say, okay, why are you bringing these people to America? What is the point? And then looking at it, you're saying, oh, they're bringing these people over here for slave labor. So that's free work, meaning it's on the line of business. So this is a business thing. We bringing people over here to work for free for us and use them to make money or what have you, which is what was going on. That makes sense. It's a stupid business model. One, again, they're bringing over Africans. Broke this down before. Did those Africans speak English? How could they communicate with those Africans in Africa to bring them over to the Americas to communicate with them, to build and create and work for them? It's a language barrier. It's no way. It don't make sense to do that. So if you're going to go and take a people who you can't communicate with, bring them to a land that they're completely unfamiliar with to work for you, that's dumb. Why do that when you could just come to America and it's already so-called Native Americans here that know the land? Why not enslave them instead of enslaving people from Africa? It don't make sense because that's what they did. They came here and enslaved the people that was already here, the Moors, the black people that was already here. They didn't bring over thousands. Well, they did bring over thousands, but those was from the kingdoms. It wasn't like every single black person came over here on the ship. That's part of the lie. And Dave, what are you talking about? That baby rabbit is feeling what? It's feeling death. What is wrong with you? Death is a part of life. Suffering is a part of life. That's their nature. It's the same thing a person is feeling when they getting ran over by a car or shot in the fucking chest. Pain, suffering. It's a part of life. You're looking at it from a human moral standpoint where you're looking at it saying, oh, it's so sad, it's suffering. Nature don't give a damn about none of that. That's nature. That's how it is. So you got to get around all that, how you looking at it. That's human shit. And look at it naturally. That's a natural thing. Birth is painful. Your mom in a lot of pain giving birth to you. That's suffering. So you can come into existence. So it's a yin yang to everything. You can't look at it just from these human eyes. It's a whole bunch of stuff you don't understand. No, Hoop Daddy. So the creation before Adam and Eve is the light body. So that's why it gave it to you in that way. The creation of Adam and Eve is the physical body. That's why they said that Adam was created from the dust of the ground. So the first creation is giving you the understanding of our true creation, our true self. Excuse me. So look at it. In Genesis said, in the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. Right? That's the key point right there. In the image of God. So people say, oh, we were created in God's image. God's image. So we look like the creator. So in the image of God, the image would be the yin yang. It would be our energetic self. because consciousness wouldn't have an image, right? So from consciousness, because remember, this is being spoken into existence, right? So it's trying to give you that understanding of consciousness creating energy. So in the image of God, which is male and female, masculine, feminine energy, yin yang. That's why it's saying in the image of God created he, him, right? Male and female created he, them. So again, I showed you guys, remember, before the 16th century, he and him were gender neutral. So he and him were gender neutral. It means man and woman, he and him. That changed later on when we get the King James Version being updated. So to understand that point, you got to look at the Bible where it says, let he who has wisdom understand. Do you think it's just talking to men? You understand? Let he who has no sin cast the first stone. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. It's not just talking to men. You understand? So he and him were gender neutral back then, and now they, through the translations, they just put it to we ascribe it to mean just man or dudes, guys. But he and him were gender neutral. So you understand that it's just giving you the understanding of the creation of the light body or the soul, which is in the image of God, which is this masculine, feminine energy, which is our true nature. So that's created first. Remember, that's Genesis 1. Then Genesis 2, we have the creation of the body, Adam being made from the dust of the ground, just giving you the understanding that atoms creating elements, and then the physical. So, and then, that's what it's talking about. Robinson Tony, yeah, that's not a dumb question because a lot of people don't know. Yeah, black people are the original people. You don't get anybody else without black people. Plain and simple. That's already proven fact. So I talked about that with Dr. Keith Chang and Dr. Jim Lee revealing that. So one, it's been 3 TED talks on this because now they're starting to put out the truth because you can't hide it no more. So the original people were Africans, black, and everybody exists because of them. So you have a mutation that occurred in African women that uh, caused them to lose pigmentation. So they gave birth to what we know as albinos. So the white baby, that was through a mutation that occurred. We now have that mutation. So there is no more question or what if or thinking or maybe. We have the 100% undeniable proof that they exist due to a mutation, not because somebody created them. They're a mutation of us. So we have the mutation that Dr. Keith Chang found a long time ago. So that mutation proves that they come from us. And then you look at the fact that every single race has OCA. There's no such thing as race, by the way. Everybody comes from black people. OCA is oculocutaneous albinism, right? It's hereditary. So the fact that everybody has it means everybody had to get it from one source, mommy, daddy. There's only one source or one group of people that carries every single trait of OCA, and that's the African. The African has every single trait because it is basically patient zero. It's where it originated from. So it being hereditary means for everybody else to get it, they had to get it from us. So that's another way to prove it. Let me see. No, it doesn't have to be balanced by choice. It has to be balanced by nature, by it is what it is. Like, yeah, you have to choose for the balance to exist, but you can also choose for the balance not to exist. You can choose for it not to be balanced. And when you choose for it not to be balanced, that is what we call evil. Excuse me. The balance and the good is one and the same. Oh, the energy of the Scholar Society is good, man. I mean, a lot of people I've talked to so far, a lot of you guys, a lot of you are here. It's been good, positive energy coming from everybody that's involved so far. The goal, of course, is one. Like I said, like a lot of you guys are not financially free, and that's where I want to get you guys there first because you can't really truly get into the spiritual part of it without being financially free. Because in this world, in this existence, you need money to grow. And that's what it's about. Money is the juice, the energy. And they put it that way because of, again, balance. If everybody had it, then it wouldn't be no experience at all. We all be doing the same shit and it'll be a crowded, crazy situation. It's done this way for a reason that a lot of people are not going to understand because they look at the world through human eyes. I should say it that way, controlled human eyes, I should say. But you got to get financially free, man. Like it's fucking no way a lot of you guys should be conscious and working. That y'all got to get rid of that shit. So that's one of my main goals. It's always been to help people get out of this fucking rat race and get the money part out the way. You know, I went through that whole shit before. I know how it is. My IRS issues was like it just took me back. That shit was crazy. But me just knowing what I know, like I said, I panicked a little bit but I had to realize I know what I know and I always knew how to climb out of it. So me just making a couple changes to my life and investments, I was able to bounce back real quick. And thanks to the help of a few friends and some of you guys. But you know, I haven't worked. I think my last job was like in 2008, the last job I had. But I haven't had a job since then. But my whole goal is to one, get you guys financially free and on track to be growing and making money from a lot of different sources. One, because without that, you can't. The spiritual part is going to be tough. It's going to be hard for you guys to meditate because you got to focus on bills and taking care of a lot of physical shit. You know, a lot of problems you got that's due to financial strains. So you get the finances out the way. This is why celebrities are rich and people. It's to get the freedom. You need that freedom because with the freedom you can focus, you can meditate, you can really start thinking in spiritual terms, not having to worry about the physical. Money is about controlling the physical to hinder the spiritual, which is what they don't want you to deal with. So the balance in that is how hard are you going to fight? How much of your physical energy are you going to put into this existence to get the spiritual freedom? You have to choose. And a lot of people make the choice for the money, the physical. That's why the physical is looked at as evil because it keeps you away from the spiritual. It's what Jesus was talking about in the Bible about not liking preachers because they don't allow you to go in. Everything is on the physical. Almost every single sermon you heard a preacher talk about, he throws money into the mix. He throws the physical into the mix. Everything that's physical is about keeping you away from what's spiritual, but there's a balance of it that you have to have. So once you get control and master the physical, you can start mastering the spiritual, and you got to get that out the way first. So again, my goal, first goal one, is to help a lot of you guys get financially free and on track to not have to be suffering this fucking rat race because it's just that's stupid. It's too much. It's too easy out here. It just is to get money. That rat race is you can't be conscious and running that fucking hamster wheel. So, but don't make no mistake. It's needed in the beginning. Go to work, save your money, get that experience. Wanting to put money away because you got to start somewhere. So you start out with the working, and then you use that to segue over to your own business. And by no means quit your job until you can sustain yourself with your own company. So just use work for now to get to that point. But the goal one is to get you there, get the finance part out of the way, and then the knowledge and spirituality at the same time. So far the group looks good. Excuse me. KR9, what's the deal? Again, Dave, what's considered horror to you or to a lot of people, it's not horror to natural, balance. It's not horror to how things work. It just is what it is. Like you got to get out of the physical thinking or the human moral thinking, because what's moral or right or wrong in a human sense is not to the universe and not to nature at all. It just is what it is. Um, and that's just how it is. That's like, I mean, if you think about, if you want to believe in a God and a creator, you got to ask yourself, why did he create them to have that type of existence? So that's calling the creator and nature evil. If you want to look at it as evil and from your perspective, you're calling nature, which is what, brought all this shit about, you're calling it evil. You're saying it's wrong. You got to look at it in that way. Why create all that with that type of nature if it wasn't a reason behind it? And there is when you begin to understand all of it. There's a balance to it all. So, I mean, if animals was left to run around unchecked and unbalanced, they would outrun us quickly. They would control us. If they was given intelligence, we'd be dead right now. Fucking gorillas and apes will rip us apart. We don't have the strength to combat them. We have intelligence, but if they had it as well, they would beat us because it will eventually end up hand to hand and we would lose. Lions and tigers would run this shit. Gorillas, silverbacks would be controlling the world right now. Intelligence has to be left to us. They basically got rid of all the animals that would challenge us as far as domination on this planet. They're gone. They wiped out the dragons. They wiped out the big fish. They wiped out a lot of things. A lot of predators were gone. This planet was terraformed and made specifically for us to be here and exist on it. Um, but I think at one point it was for them, and whatever happened caused it to be changed, terraformed, and made for us. And that's what the deeper history shows about this planet and how it changed over a long period of time. But I think that was by design. Let me see. Who that? Do you think what's that? Trudons were the? I have no idea what that is. Let me see. Oh, and Josh is being a Dogon called. Nah, I'm not sure. Blood Moon, my God, what's the deal? Once again. Oh yeah, the Bible is uh, it takes from everywhere. It takes from all over. Sumerian, Egyptian, Phoenician, which the Phoenician Canaanites, um, and that again gives you that whole connection into the Greeks because Phoenician, the name came from the Greeks, and then the Canaanites. All that shit is tied into what's that? Tied into each other, but they stole from everywhere. Hey, I'm with you. That would be cool if it worked that way, but then there has to be a check. There has to be something there um, to keep choice inserted into the society. Without choice, we don't have balance. So you can't have everybody doing the exact same thing because then there's no choice. We all doing one thing. Um, And it's what you're talking about is where the point we need to ultimately get to once we get back what we lost, and that's a deeper understanding right there. But it'll get to that point eventually. The money will be gone eventually. All this stuff is basically changing over to basically what you want and what you're saying, and it will when it gets to that point, it won't be It won't be a situation to where we have to put anybody in check if they come out of the balance. The balance is what we're trying to get back to, but it's a lot of prerequisite shit we got to do before we get back to that balance. We don't have the pyramids no more, so that harmony, that energy is not the same. It's not cohesive anymore. Oh, the Papa Lance is a good question, man. That the dollar bill is their um, is their marker. It's basically it's Masonic as hell. It's the Masonic marker of what they did to control what's going on. Everything is in there. The crest, um, I've seen that entire crest. I was lucky enough to be able to go see it in London at a Masonic lodge. So that entire crest has a lot more on it besides Noro or Oro Seclorum or what have you. But again, I showed you guys seen it before, how it spells out Mason. So it's one, their crest or their document to show the endeavor or what they basically embarked upon to create what they're creating right now. That's the market. That's why every bill has changed but the dollar. The dollar stayed the same. They changed the 5, they changed the 10, they changed the 20. The $1 bill stayed the same for a reason. It's a lot on there. Explore the world. Explore the world. Shout out. What's going on in the Philippines? I love Filipino food. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yo, Lone Wolf, I was just sleeping. That's why I'm late. I'm late. One second, guys. Gotta get this charger. Other charger. This charger ain't working. All right. Should be back. Uh, no, I hope they believe it or not. Most of the evidence they give for Jesus, not just in Torah, it's just from manuscript text, from textual stuff. There's not too much evidence physical besides that shroud. Other than that, there's no other physical evidence for Jesus. Like we don't have no cup or shoe or anything like that, which is why they so tied to that shroud there, uh, because it's physical. No, nothing really connects the. Well, what connects them is the language. That's what connects them as far as the Greeks. But understand that they was basically um, under Roman rule when all that was created. So in the book Hebrew is Greek by Dr. Joseph Yehuda, he shows that the Greeks created the Hebrew and Arabic languages. So that's the connection right there. It's that Arabic, how it can be traced back to the Greek. And again, the Romans running that, on their side and putting all that stuff in place. What ships are y'all talking about? They have no ships from the era. What ships? Who has no ships? Because we have a lot of ships. I don't know if you guys. It's a lot of old ships. I showed you guys in Egypt when I was at the Cairo Museum the ships, the boats that the Egyptians used. We have them. You go to the what museum was that? I think it was in Belgium. I was at that had this whole section of dedicated to maritime and the ships. So we have a lot of old ships. Nubian, that's a good question. We have this emotional energy for control. It's checks and balances. It's stuff that has to be put in place so we don't go off the deep end or the edge. It's one of the reasons why religion was, instilled anyway for morality to speak towards those good and evil emotions. Because you give people morals or a sense of guilt, empathy, if you will, then they won't do certain things like hang you from a fucking tree, even though they went against it themselves. But it's like they knew we were more on the spiritual side, so it works more for us. Excuse me. Oh yeah, Hoop Daddy. I didn't even go back and look at that video. I gotta look and see. Let me see. Who is this? Astronomics. Wow, what are you talking about? Who created that study or genealogy test? I don't know what you're talking about. Saxon, what's the deal? Africa Lakes, what's the deal? What time is it over there? It's to be early. Let's say good Cavell or good Moran. Hey do, tech tech. I got a video on flat Earth on YouTube already called "Analyzing Flat Earth Theory." I get into that whole in that video. Oh yeah, definitely add your bank account. You don't want to receive no check. My bad. I just saw that, Quintaria. Yeah, add your bank account for Amazon. I feel that's how they pay you. You don't want no check. You want to wait for that, even though it's monthly. But it's better to just have the direct deposit. Jermaine John, what if I like my job? If you like your job, keep your job. I was a ramp shift manager for Piedmont Airlines. I love that job. Running U.S. Airways. Now it's American. I love that job. That job was fun. I met a lot of cool people. I met almost every single wrestler. Me and Matt Hardy was cool. If Matt Hardy walked there now, he'd be, oh, we go crazy. I love that job. It was a good job. It was cool, but it's like, pay was good because I was salary and I got degrees, so I was making good money. I love that job. That was a good, fun job, but I had a lot going on around that time, and it was like I had other bigger dreams, but working at the airport was just in the way. And I flew for free. That was the best part. It was just in the way of bigger things that I wanted to do. It's a bigger picture. So it's like, if you like your job and you can get to where you need to be by keeping that job, then by all means, like, stay there, keep your job, work. Um, but if it's keeping you from bigger things, and then some people are scared to dream about bigger things because they don't want to change their situation or come out of their comfort zone. Um, stay where you at if that's where you're comfortable at, or if that's where you really want to be. If it's not in the way of anything, if you're able to experience and live life being there, then definitely keep it. I watch Rick and Morty all the time. Rick and Morty is so deep. Isaac, what's the deal? Holistic hunch, yeah. Imagination is power, man. Meditation is power. You're displaying so much power in just meditating and going in and being in that conscious state of altering your consciousness, if you will, because that's what you're doing. You do that when you dream anyway. You do that when you take drugs as well. You're altering your state of consciousness. Doing that is considered like it's power. I was talking about that in the last live about just meditation and how you grow from it and how it's the only way you're going to really make real quick progress in your life is programming yourself to do that. So everything we talk about and all this stuff people think about, you're fighting against so much to make that a reality. So you have to arm yourself with all the weapons, everything you need. The biggest one is meditation. Because with meditation, you program yourself to retain that goal, that knowledge, because there's so much distractions out here, so much going on that'll take you away from your goal. That's why a lot of people are not reaching their goals because they're not programming themselves to do it. You're allowing so much other programming to come into you by not programming yourself. So the trends, social media, sports, all that shit is distractions. All that shit is coming to into your conscious control, and it's stuff you can be doing that you don't do because you don't want to miss the game, or because you don't want to miss this episode, you understand? Or you want to go to this party. So it's a lot of stuff that you could be doing to better serve yourself, but distractions get in the way. The thing is, one, when you start to meditate, you program yourself to not be bothered by those distractions, to not even want those distractions. And then when you get the plan together and you become, let's just say, fully conscious, then a lot of that stuff won't bother you no more. But you still work them in your life. It's not completely getting rid of them. There's a balance, of course. So, but in meditating, you program yourself to want those things and to do those things. And a lot of things we do, we unconsciously do. You understand? So if you're going to be unconsciously doing something, you need to program yourself so those unconscious things that you do benefit you and not hinder you. So that's what meditation does. So in meditation, all you're doing is programming yourself. So you're focusing on what you need to do, what you want to do, and you're seeing yourself do it. So the steps you will have to take to make those things happen is what you're going to be focusing on in meditation. And you need to see yourself. You need to consciously, focus on those steps and what you got to do. Think about it and see yourself doing it. And that's how you program yourself. The same shit that you're seeing on TV. What are you seeing on TV? A visual programming, something that's showing you a visual something, and it's programming you, whether it's social media or TV, it's still something visual. What you're seeing on TV, you can close your eyes and see the same thing, and you can see yourself doing it. And that's how you program yourself through meditation. That's what meditation is about. So you program yourself to do that, and a bunch of other stuff. In the process, you're actually healing yourself. Jackson, oh yeah, that's once you start understanding shit, um, you know, it could go left or right. When you come into full understanding, then it's not hard no more because you understand, and that's what it's about. The understanding part. It becomes understanding. You know, uh, everything is hard, but it's understanding relieves that. It relieves it because you understand. You know, that's why knowing the truth, as I said, it make you free. Once you know and you understand, it's still tough to do. It's like having to put down your dog and you love the dog. You don't want to put it down, but you understand why you have to put your dog down for whatever reason. Um, it still hurts, but you understand, and then eventually you move on. So it's the understanding part you get out the way. The rest, it makes it not hard. Excuse me. No, Dave, we didn't build this world. It was built for us. We didn't build none of this. This was built for us. The system, even the system we are in, was made for us. Now we have a choice to change it, but we won't change it because we don't even understand what we would change it to and for what reason, how it would work. I mean, you could want all you want. It's just the way it is, and it's that way for a reason. Now, when you understand that, it's like all those questions definitely go away when you begin to understand the point of it all. Like it has to be this way. It's just something you got to come to accept at some point. It, it's evil, whatever you want to call it, crazy, it's just the way it must be. Um, but it's a deeper understanding to it. Okay, let me try to catch up to you guys. A lot of questions. Let's see. Let's see. A lot of good questions, guys. A lot of good questions. Yeah, and meditation. Listen, there, everything is about natural. The only thing you have to work on with meditation, which is what I talked about in Buddhism with Bodhidharma, and how he was teaching the Shaolin monks uh, techniques. Like basically, it was for them to be able to stay in meditation state longer. So it was a form of stretching that they got from the Egyptians on how to stretch. Those stretches eventually evolved into what we know as Shaolin Kung Fu, which is what the ancient Egyptians was doing as well, where they got it from. So the only thing you got to really work on is the body control as far as
Um, your spine, your back level, straight. So with that, hold on. Okay, make sure this thing should not be dead. My AirPod.
uh, about it. You got to work on just that part of it. The body control. So Tai Chi, one of the reasons why they do Tai Chi again, why it's so fluid. All those stretches, it's about being able to stay in meditative position for a long time without, because when you arch your back or hunch, you're hindering that flow of energy. So that's what that's about. Other than that, it's good. Go get it. What's the deal? I appreciate you. Uh, if you're waiting on, don't worry about approval for Merkabah Scholar Society on Merkabah Academy. Don't worry about that. You guys will get that out the soon. I want to get the app out the way first. So the app is being tested right now. Again, I posted it on social media, the app on my Instagram story. Um, so the app is just being tested right now. As I said, when I first came on, some of you guys may have missed it. So I showed you guys the app, but it's just being tested right now on iOS and Android. Just working out some little kinks here and there to get it because there's a lot that's going to be on there. So like I said, it should be out probably today or tomorrow. You guys will get the link for the app, and you guys will have that. But yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good right now. I like it so far. Let me see. I have my other phone. Saxon, I appreciate you. Peace. Yeah, if I'm not talking, I'm reading questions. So there's nothing going on. Like it's live. So I got to read first. I'm not putting up. There's not a script here. I'm just reading. A lot of good questions. Papa Lance. Yeah, it's what is it? 6? It was 9 over there on the East Coast. I'm about to get off of this thing. I've been on way too long. Time be flying, ball. Book recommendations, yeah, the Bible. Read that Bible, man. Read the Bible and then read what's a good book after the Bible? It's a couple of them. So uh read the no, because it's a good book to segue from the Bible. Um no. Yeah, so read the African Holocaust, or the what's the book? It's Dr. Ben, not Dr. Ben. Uh what's the name of this book? One second. I hate once The Destruction of African Civilization. And Chancellor Williams' books is good, as well as Dr. Ben. Yeah, we got that scholar, the hats and everything. I'm gonna show you guys that on the app. Let me see 1 second. Uh, Jay Bird, appreciate it. Ivan von Sertima, of course. Sheikh Anta Diop, of course. Oh, the Kabbalion. That's for those who ready for that. Yeah, Walt Williams is good, man. I recommend all those guys, man. Like I said, a lot of the messages changed after a while from a lot of these people. Um, yeah, like a lot of these guys' background. A lot of these guys are Masons, or Shriners. Dr. Ben, I believe, was a Shriner. Uh, a lot of these guys got into things they didn't understand what it was, and that was just the understanding back then that these guys had all the answers. And when you obsessed like me, you want to see what a lot of these people are talking about. I was lucky enough to impress a few people uh, that were Masons that allowed me to come to a lot of lodge meetings, and it was introductory stuff. It wasn't like deep shit. You're not going to say that to a non-initiate, but I was allowed to attend a few lodges in certain countries, and just have a lot of good conversations. So there's some deeper information that we discussed that gave me that, you know, that pleasure. But it's not for us. Like, you black, you shouldn't be in no damn masonry or Shriners. Like, come on. It's just, if you understood, you would not touch none of that bullshit. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of those guys is Masons. Brother Polite, you guys seen that? Was in Mason, Shriner. Um, a lot of those guys are Shriners or Masons when you pay attention. But like I said, man, a lot of those guys get in not knowing what they got into. It doesn't really change who they are. It just means they limited as to what they can teach. Once I understood that part, it was a no go for me. Not just that, I seen how it worked. So once I seen how it worked and how it was kind of controlled, I was like, no, excuse me, it's knowledge there, but stuff you can figure out on your own without all the bullshit. Excuse me. Jeremy, what's the deal? Yeah, man, like I said, a lot of those guys start getting into a lot of spooky stuff because they seen that's what sells. So the Anunnaki stuff, anything dealing with those books sell the most. So a lot of people, and they get the most views. So when you start putting that stuff up there, because you get past just the black crowd, and you get a lot of white people now. So that's another thing. It's more people involved. So it's a lot of white people that's into it. So you get a lot more white people involved when you go that route. So um, that's why a lot of those guys crossed over and get into all of the extraterrestrial talk and everything like that. I touch on it here and there, but I don't do entire, things on, Anunnaki or what have you, because it's all bullshit. Um, I'm not saying the alien part, but the Anunnaki part. But, there's obviously an outside controlling force that they know absolutely nothing about, and it's nothing you're going to find in a book written by men that's going to give you real insight into it. Only thing you can say is how, and I talk about this, is how all the ancients talked about it. So it's something you can't deny as far as ancient civilizations talking about beings coming from above. So I just stick with that part. Yeah, so the next Merkabah Scholar Society, we got a live coming up, so you guys will be getting an email because that's when the app drops. So today or tomorrow, you guys will get a link for to download the app, and then you guys will get a link for the Scholars Only live, so we can discuss the app. So that's going to be coming real soon. So watch your emails for that, and then I'll do another live here on YouTube just to tell you guys to make sure you check your emails because like I said, I can't control the email situation. Like I said, I pay services to send out emails directly, but a lot of people for some reason it take 3 4 days for people to get emails. Like I said, I'm just having people today open emails from the first live meeting. So whenever you guys open your emails, I can see it. I can see whenever I see an email, if you open it, I can see that you open it and that it was read. So I'm seeing people today for some reason. That's how I know it's controlled. I've seen like 10 people today just now open an email from weeks ago. So, when I was in California, that was a while ago. So, yeah, Rock, come appreciate it. But yeah, don't send no money to this thing. Email is, let me see. Email is the real Merkabah at gmail.com. But I appreciate it. But yeah, for anybody who don't know, don't send no money to this thing. YouTube don't give us this money. So if you go, you can send emails to Merkabah Scholar Society at gmail.com, the real Merkabah at gmail.com, or Merkabah team at merkabahacademy.com. Billy Carson already getting that money, man. They already paid that dude. They got him selling stock shit. They got him doing all kinds of shit. He was on Gaia. Like I said, man, you don't get on a certain circuits without being in with these guys. The dude already bought and paid for already. I mean, the knowledge already speaks for itself. The shit he talking about. Nobody that's really conscious is believing that bullshit. That's for a lot of new people, young people. The dude just spits out so much garbage. It's just crazy to me that people believe that shit. Yeah, Dr. York was a Shriner. The picture's already out there. You can see him. Yeah, he was a Shriner. Dr. York, Shriner, Mason. Like I told you, man, there's consequences to crossing these people and doing certain things. That's why you went down, man. When you pay attention to a lot of these dudes on why they go down, you look at somebody that's been on top for a long time, and then all of a sudden, all this shit start happening to them, and they're going down. Go back and look at what they did. You know, business moves. So a lot of people will tell you they think, this is the premise out here with Diddy. Diddy basically backdoored one of these prominent families with Ciroc. So he went out and tried to make a deal that basically disrespected and cut off these people he was working with Ciroc. And then now all this stuff started to happen around the same time. So a lot of people pointing to that and saying, oh, they taking him down because he basically disrespected a fucking high ranking Illuminati family business. And that's why they doing what they doing. Whether you choose to believe it or not, you just look into those facts. And the facts are there that he did try to do some type of deal outside and basically try to cut off some of his partners, people who put him where he's at and made Ciroc, which I have Ciroc in my bar at home. So, it's doing numbers. It was doing numbers. So supposedly that's why everything happened because he did that. But again, like I say, man, regardless of if it is or not, it's a distraction. It's something that could have been done behind closed door without the media scrutiny if they didn't want it to be a distraction. But I don't think Diddy is that dumb to do something like that. Being in the game this long, he know how it works. He's seen it before. He's seen what happens to people who go against him. So I don't think it's that. I don't think he would do something so dumb when he already got so much money. So to me, it's just a distraction, and it's more behind it. I don't let it consume my life. It is what it is. I don't care about that, man. Yeah, this is live right now. Yeah, I got videos on meditation, Rakim. And that's successful meditation. Like starting out is tough. It takes a long time. Been doing this for a couple decades now. Um, in the beginning, it's tough because one, like when you start out meditation, you need to really have privacy. You need to really be truly alone without distraction. So no TV, no phone near there. And once you start to do it in the beginning, what's going to happen is your mind will wander, and then eventually you'll get sleepy. That's what usually happens out of boredom because, a lot of people they run from their thoughts, and it's hard for people to really get into meditation because they don't like what they got to think about. They don't want to deal with what their reality and what their mind goes to. So a lot of people begin, daydreaming, fantasies, fantasizing, or what have you, off topic shit that don't have no structure to it that's going to benefit you, right? So in the beginning, your mind wanders, and I always tell people let it wander. Just let your mind wander and let it go to wherever it goes to in the beginning. But eventually, what you want to be focusing on first thing in meditation is goals. What you want to do. What are you trying to do in life? Where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself? And then start to think about what you think you would have to do to get there. And then see yourself doing those things and walk yourself through it. You can actually visually do that in your mind of what you need to do and then constantly do that. And you'll see what'll happen is your actions in life, your conscious actions, that begin to reflect those meditative things. And it's programming. It's how you program yourself. So it's in the same way that they're showing people on TV twerking and all this and that, and then they're physically doing it, they've been programmed. It's going to be the same outcome. The stuff that you meditate on, you program yourself to do, and you start to physically do them. And the choices and decisions you make in life will reflect the actions and meditation and what you want to do, and you'll start to do those things instead of the opposite. Shameless plug, man. Gotta go promote on your channel, dude. The fuck? Yeah, right. Backdoor. Oh, the app is called Dovely. Dovely. So you'll see it's a green leaf, like a green leaf, the app icon, Dovely. So that app will help you dispute stuff that's on your credit, and a lot of that stuff will fall off, and you see your credit score go up. So I highly recommend it. Excuse me. Quantoria, good. Yeah, I mean it's not hard. The affiliate program is a good way to start, man, because it's Amazon and it's stuff that people want anyway. You just got to get it to the people. So the the boost post part of it and Facebook will help. Excuse me. Yeah, the boost post part of it will really help you out because then you can really target people. That's where I start to see the numbers grow a lot. I mean, and you can do it for as little as like 30, 10, 10, 20, $30 to go ahead and do the boost post. But that's where I seen the rise in numbers because you targeting people that's actually looking for the products that you're selling, and it's right on their timeline, and it sells. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Tech Sheeta. I heard of that. That sounds familiar. No, you can keep your D Griff. You can keep your same Facebook page because what's going to happen is log out of Facebook, scroll down to the bottom when you log out. So you're going to log out, then you're going to Facebook.com, scroll down to the bottom. You'll see where it say create like a celebrity page or business page. Hit create a business page. When you do that, it's going to require you to log back in. So then you're going to log back into your regular account, and then that business page will just be associated with your regular account, but it'll be a whole separate page. So that way, since you're going to be on your regular page anyway, normally you'll see a link, or you could just click on your business page at any time, and go ahead and run the business through there. But at the same time, also, all the people that follow you on your regular page, you can just copy and paste those links on your regular page. It'd be a lot easier, uh, to generate sales. But the boost post is what you really want to be using because you can target people. Like I said, like you selling baby stuff, you can target people that actually search prenatal care, pregnancy, baby clothes, or what have you, baby registry, and all that stuff. And then those will be the people who will see your ads on their timeline versus a bunch of people who don't, who's not looking for those things at all. Wayne, what's the deal, Wayne? Appreciate you. Let me see. No, I'm in Las Vegas still. I'm at the hotel right now. Let me see. Oh, D Griff, yeah, you gotta get out in Vegas, man. A lot of truck drivers come through here. A lot of people come through, um, and it's just one of the best places, man, for an adult. You know, you over 21. This is just it's just fun out here. I like the business aspect of Vegas because they really on point with business here, and I like it. I like how shit works out here. Most people out here is just about their business, and you know the gambling aspect. It's just tops. It's dope. Been doing real good lately, and it's just a lot of cool shit out here. And then the proximity to California is dope. Which you know I was just there. It's real easy to get there fast. It's a bunch of kingdoms, Matthew, in South Africa, Benin. You have the Congo Kingdom, Kerma. You go a little higher, Songhai, Mali Empire. Swahili Coast. The Swahili Coast is full of kingdoms. So it's the ruins are still there. I show all those kingdoms in a lot of videos. That's in Africa. So the video I have, it's called "The Many Hidden Accomplishments of African People." It's on YouTube. So that video, "The Many Hidden Accomplishments of African People," I show all that stuff in that video, all those kingdoms that existed. Because we always talk about Egypt. So what I wanted to show people is that we know more than just Egypt, and I could show you in Africa all of the kingdoms that existed, besides just Egypt, all the empires, the Nook. I talked about the Nook a lot, who we find some of the oldest legal institutions in the world or legal practices in the world, and how the structures that they have clearly was stolen by the Romans or what have you. So, what we know as far as schools and universities and legal systems, we find all this stuff in Africa, thousands of years, way before European empires existed. So, what they want to call sophistication and all this and that, it already existed in Egypt and in Africa many years prior. That's where they got the knowledge from anyway. They was already trading with these kingdoms. Again, the ruins exist. The fact that we have the ruins, which I showed you guys, of all these kingdoms, it shows you what happened. The gun and cannon, those cannons destroyed those kingdoms, especially along Swahili coast where you can see them on the waterfront. Those are not European kingdoms, those are African kingdoms built with brick, not just mud like in Mali. I want you to think we only had mud huts and mud brick. We had like structures, and I showed you guys kingdoms, castles, long before anything that's European. So when you see it with your own eyes, it changes your perspective of it. But it existed. Oh yeah, there's mostly Mexicans over here. A lot of black people, but mostly Mexicans. Mexicans run this side. I love Mexicans. Yeah. Regret and guilt is just a form of, I don't want to say ignorance, but it's just like, not coming into, not understanding or accepting understanding. Because you shouldn't have no regret or guilt about anything. You understood what happened and why it happened. You just got to come to grips with whatever that is. So even if you've done something bad, there's an understanding behind it, why you did it. And if you don't know why you did it, then that's just something that's innately wrong. You got to fix that. But regret and guilt, those are like Christian things. That's why they run, to the pulpit and pay their money because they got regret and guilt. You got to understand, you understand the actions that you make led to where you are, or what's behind it, and that's an understanding that you should have already. No need for meditation for that. That's something you consciously should understand. But escaping the will of reincarnation, that's different. Like I said before, this is the time where it's possible now. And that's what the nine is about. The video I put out on We Are the Nine. You know, if you were born before the year 2000, so you're born, between 1801 and 1999, you are part of the nine. And a part of the nine, we have the opportunity to move on now. So, and where do we go is exactly where Osiris was in the temple of Osiris. But I mean, it doesn't matter. There's something that you don't need to understand consciously. Your subconscious already knows everything. It's about you uh, getting it to reveal it to you. But it won't matter at death anyway. Your subconscious already knows where to go. What up, Nick? What's going on? No, if you're not the nine, you will be back here. So there's no way around that. You're born 2000 and up. You have fun. You'll be back. It's a different time. So you guys are bringing about the generation that's going to be the uh, basically to get into this whole mixture with the machine with AI. But you guys have a purpose. You got something that basically what they did during the 1800s. It's y'all time to do that now. So the 1800s gave about what we are dealing with now. The time is done. So we're coming into this information age, which we're already in here now. And this generation 2000 and up is going to build basically, what we're seeing come into existence with AI. Different plan for you guys. So no. So 2000 and up, your reality is going to be a little bit different because it's going to be better. It's going to be much better, a lot easier. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about that now. We're already in the afterlife. This is the afterlife, believe it or not. This is not uh, life is real existence is outside of this physical form. This is something completely different. This is not truly existing. It's being stuck in physical. This is so primitive, as I always talk about. This physical form, all this physical, it's so stupid. And not to be disrespectful, but it kind of is like so primitive. Like we don't need this stuff. When you understand what we can do outside of it. So you show yourself there every time you dream of what's possible. You're in the dream state. None of that stuff is physical, yet you're experiencing it. Why can't we just do that here without the repercussions of the physical? You understand the pain, deep stuff. We get into all that, but yeah, I gotta get out of here. Sun is coming up. I got work to do. Let me see. But I'll be back. But yeah, I came on here to let you guys know. App is being tested. Uh, you guys are gonna be getting emails. Just stay tuned for emails in the next couple of days. We got a meeting coming up on YouTube for scholars only. The link is in the description for anybody who's still trying to join. You still got a shot to join. We are in the final phase. That price is going to be going up real soon. I left it like that for about 20 people who hit me up with email. So take advantage for a change. Um, so that link is in the description for people who want to join. But we have a members only meeting coming up on YouTube. So we're going to do a members only live. So you guys will get a link. And the only way you'll be able to get on this live is with that link. We're going to do it again for our next official meeting with the Google Meet where, we can all see each other and talk. So that's coming up. But app is coming up. Then we're going to have a live and talk about the app. Then you guys will get the email for the meeting later on, and then we'll get into books and the hats and shirts and everything like that, and a bunch of other stuff. So a lot to get into. Oh yeah, and then we'll get into the drop shipping and everything with the affiliate programs and all that, and we'll talk about it a little bit in the next meeting. Then we're gonna have an entire lecture on all that, where I'm gonna walk you guys through a lot of that information. So we got a lot coming up, a lot going on. But I got to get out of here. Make sure you guys checking your emails, and I see you guys next video. Peace.